All right, the recording is now in progress. So welcome everyone to the greatest game on earth.
Happy birthday, Mr. DM. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you guys, appreciate that. 55 years old. I waver, it's weird. Being 55, I sometimes feel like I'm 100 and I sometimes feel like I'm 11. So
you act like you're 11.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I've noticed though is I injure myself in odd ways nowadays, like having accidentally yawning when I'm checking my blind spot in the car. That's an injury. Sleep wrongly. Yeah, exactly.
And
Sneeze
Andrew,
too hard.
And Andrew, just for you, if you go on YouTube and type in Chips Goes Roller Disco, it's there.
Is it there?
I am so gonna watch it.
All right.
There's a whole bunch of stuff
while we're
available.
playing.
B team is postponed. Let's go to the tape. Did you see that list of stars?
Yeah,
it was
incredible.
It was a who's who of late 70s thing. I mean, Melissa Sue Anderson, Ruth Buzzy,
Larry
Linville, Dan Haggerty.
Grizzly Adams.
Yep, Vic Tayback of Alice fame. Dana Plato before her unfortunate accident. I mean, it's just and if you look down at the bottom, it says plus many more.
Yeah, the cheese was strong with that one.
Yep, that was it was good. So yeah, we may have to set aside some time to watch that video on YouTube. That would be good. Anyway, but in the meantime, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Chad?
No, I don't want to disrupt us anymore. In the meantime, let's get back to putting holes in things.
Let's get back to putting holes in things. Well, we may or may not get to that point. So let's do a quick recap of last time. You guys arrived finally at the Lyceum at Seaquen, the town of Seaquen, and found a place that over the past 2 weeks since hostilities had broken out between the Sargavan occupiers, the colonists, and the local residents, including the citizens of Gate Pass, the Mwangi traders and merchants, the Elvish, the elves of the plains, a variety of other interested parties. In that past 2 weeks, the refugees have been swarming into Seaquen. And as you got here, you realized that there was just tons of different groups of people that have arrived. In the red zone, Lady Timor's people who were chased off of their ancestral lands and are looking to get some payback on the Sargavans, led by a guy named Xavius Phobane, a dwarven warrior. They have probably the most organized and at the same time most martial area of the refugee camps. In the green zone, the Cinderees, as they call themselves, always locals from the Sargavan steppes. They were always rebellious against local leadership, difficult to control on the best of days, and now in many cases their lands have been overrun by Sargavans as part of this. In this case, many of the refugees, clerics and druids, they don't get along. They make a point of not getting along, as befits the Cinderees, the often prickly Cinderees personality. In the blue zone, the Ostilians, mostly sailors and merchants. This is less about refugees and more about people sort of coming to capitalize on the rapid growth that Seaquen is at. Remember, Seaquen is a fishing town, a town that is a river town. It is a trading hub and has been populated for a long time. So a great many displaced sailors and merchants have found their way to Seaquen to bolster the locals and extract, where possible, what funds they can to try and make money. They often are not as well liked as some of the rest of the population, but they are appreciated by many in the council, in the Seaquen Council, for their willingness to contribute to the overall economy of the town and to help stem some of the the issues associated with having so many people flood into this town and things. Realize that and then there's the purple, which are essentially Sargavan refugees, almost 2,000 of them fleeing the war. Lots of them don't have much. It's here that other gate pass refugees would be found, and is easily the most dangerous place to be after dark. These are largely poor people who escaped the Sargavan onslaught with very few resources, and thereby some of the more desperate people. The people of Seaquen and the Council of Seaquen has been trying to help as much as possible, but the normal population of the city of Seaquen is about 1,500 people. There are approaching 3,000 refugees that have flowed into this small town, and it is in some cases dwarfing the local infrastructure to help to serve them. Surrounding the promontory upon which Seaquen sits is a series of Elvish ships. Some people call it a blockade. Other people call it a security measure. What it really is probably a little of both. You have the elves who are ensuring that supplies in much greater quantities are arriving as quickly and as regularly as possible to the city of Seaquen, so that so that there's food to eat, clean water to drink, medicine, things of that nature. The elves in these ships are bringing them forward. At the same time, they are protecting Seaquen from outside forces, Sargavan riverboats, unaligned corsairs who might be coming up the river from the sea to try and take advantage of the situation. There's also the undercurrent that the elves are bolstering the security system of Seaquen to try and help to keep out Sargavan agents. No, everyone by now, after 2 weeks, is well aware of what befell Gate Pass. And Gate Pass was infiltrated by Sargavans and Sargavan sympathizers. And when hostilities broke out, those people basically turned Gate Pass into a war zone, and were able to throw open the doors to Gate Pass to the Sargavan army when they arrived. And the people of Seaquen, including the elves who support them, have no wish for the same thing to happen here. And so they are acting as a bulwark, a supply network, but also they're operating as a security force as well, trying to keep things safe. You guys are staying at a place called the Supreme Squid, run by a woman named Faye, who was mightily enchanted last time by Titus's high charisma, as he negotiated with her for as good a price on the 3 suites of rooms that you guys rented at the Squid for yourselves. You guys have stayed there overnight. You've been able to take advantage of some of their largesse. It's a good spot, and frankly, considering how many people are here, the fact that you have resources, you have money to be here, has kept you out probably of the tent city. That, however, did not keep Wraith and Arrendar from going down into the purple zone and availing themselves of some of the local ale and some of the local gossip. And there was a fair amount of information that was provided. I can repeat that information if you want me to, if you don't remember from last time, but certainly we can talk about that. But you were able to get some information about Gate Pass, about how the process of the war with Sargava is going, and in general find out some what's been going on since you guys have been wandering around in the Fire Forest for the last week and a half. Largely, the news has not been great for either the people of Gate Pass or the war in general. Sargava has not only been succeeding militarily, they have called on Cheliax for aid. Their patrons and their countrymen. And Cheliax is a big militarily powerful country. And if Sargava has called on them to help them exploit some of their initial gains, you can be assured that the best that Sargava will enjoy a significant amount of military and magical power from the Chilaxians, their patrons. That said, after the next morning, after you guys had gotten a rest and a bath and a decent meal, you guys went directly to the Lyceum. You spoke with a Captain Rambaus, who basically said, and you basically told him your story, pretty much in its entirety. I'm sure you've left out a few things of locally what's the word I'm looking for? Locally transgressive nature. But you basically told him the whole story, and he had a quick look at some of the documents in the case and said, "Please come with me, and let's examine these documents and discuss them in my office." And which you guys followed. This is your first, and that's where we stopped last time. This is your first sort of look at the Lyceum. And there's a lot going on here. So you'll remember I talked to you last time about the fact that the Lyceum is essentially a Mott and Bailey style keep, and it's located here. This, by the way, the Supreme Squid is over here, and the Lyceum is over here. They both are near to the bay, Seaquen Bay, where several ships, trading ships, are parked. There's a lot of activity going on and there, including the Wayfarer Theater, which is essentially a floating theater, one of the more notable locations here in Seaquen. And basically, you guys get a chance to get a look at the Lyceum.
Is there a scale on this map? Like what is there a scale on each map?
It's about, yeah. So each hex is about 200 yards.
Okay.
Around there.
Like I just wanted to get kind of a gist for how big this was.
So again, like a Mott and Bailey standard, the Lyceum compound itself is surrounded by a 8-foot stone wall. And as you sort of walk towards one of the buildings, you see that there's about a half dozen class buildings and what look to be dormitories sort of on the hill to the north of the compound. Most of the buildings are of gray stone. There's a fair amount of moss on them. Wide covered walkways in large part, and broad fields filled with trees that have moss growing from them as well. There's a central tower, which is where you're headed, which is 8 stories, around 60 feet in diameter, made of weathered stone and with thick windows, called Orad Tower. It's used for events. It's used for council meetings. It contains the offices of the professors, although most of the professors have their own homes on the North Shore, on this side of the thing, along the shoreline. As you go through, you can see that there is. You definitely get the impression that the Lyceum also contains what military sort of elements that Seaquen has. Seaquen is nobody's idea of a military man fortress. It's a fishing village, and largely, a merchant village. There are not a ton of things. There's a city watch, of course, and various kinds of domestic policing. It's only recently that Seaquen has gained any sort of military capability at all that you would consider to be military, and that's largely due to the fact that you have certain elements and individuals of martial bearing who have been arriving in Seaquen and beginning to comprise the bulk of what military thought and practice from a general standpoint exists here. What you do see, so you do see little cadres of soldiers kind of going here and there, but they're small, half dozen, people at a time. They are armed and armored, and they usually seem to be of good discipline, but, their tabards and their colors are from different places. Some of them, none of them are Sargavan, obviously, but you recognize certain elements from certain locations throughout Sargava, Greater Sargava. You haven't had a lot of experience with those people, the people of the plains, the people of the near Sargava, steppes and grasslands, but you see a fair amount of these guys. The man you're following, Captain Rambus, described himself as head of security for the Lyceum, and as he's walking, he is joined by somebody who looks to be sort of a major domo of some sort. He's also dressed militarily, so maybe a legate or some sort of assistant. He basically explains to him very briefly where you're going, which is the Orad Tower, his offices, to examine some documents that have come through with some, as he's explaining it, he goes, there's some documents that have come through with some refugees from Gate Pass that we're very interested in. You can see they're coming with us to help explain what they've brought to us here and how it may help our efforts. You do see a couple of interesting things, though. There's a lot more students here, and this is something that Vondrum would Vondrum, you have been here before, or I can't remember from your backstory.
I'm a student of Gabal. I don't know. I might have come through here at some point, but I was never one of the elitist students that would have been paraded through here as a showpiece. Although I might have snuck in the cellar at some point to meet somebody and grab a little information I didn't have.
It's probably you certainly, as a student of Gabal's at the Gate Pass magic school, you certainly would have heard of the Lyceum. The Gabal was a graduate. Many of your instructors would have been graduates of the Lyceum. It's likely you have never been here due to the distances involved, that kind of thing. But yeah, you see many people that you instinctually recognize as being students. And in one case, you look over and you see
a guy, actually.
You know a guy in Lyceum?
I think I might just know a guy.
You might.
I actually teach at Lyceum, now that I think about it.
Well, you do see what the rest of you wouldn't necessarily recognize immediately, but Vondrum you recognize as being a dueling a dueling arena, and specifically for magical duels. And you'll remember from what you've heard of the Lyceum, I mean, magical dueling was something that took place uncommonly, more or less occasionally at Gabal's school. But magical dueling was definitely something that was well known to be here, and you can hear the snaps of spells going off in there, and the ragged cheers of people. There seems to be some activity in there even now, as you guys cross through. But yeah, you see a lot of students going from building to building, talking about stuff. You guys get a few eyeballs, but nobody pays too much attention to you as Captain Rambos is, he's obviously well known around here. And the impression that you get from him is that he does not brook a great deal of familiarity with these students. But otherwise, the Lyceum grounds look well tended. The people there look well fed. They don't seem to. They certainly don't give off the same sort of vibe as refugees might. As some of the people that you've seen, certainly Wraith, you and Arendar saw in the purple zone, and the rest of you saw maybe coming in through. As you pass through the refugee camps into the city proper, going to the Supreme Squid, you would have seen various types of refugees doing various types of work. And generally speaking, they have they look like refugees. They're skinny. They haven't eaten well. They're working and trying to earn some money so that they can provide food. Like any refugees, they're at least partially desperate. Soon you enter the tower, the Orad Tower. It's made of that same gray stone, but the inside is very comfortable. You get on the ground floor. You don't go up. You see these grand staircase that goes up and up and up, and into the building. You do not go up that staircase. As it turns out, Rambos's offices are on the first floor, quite close to the front door. And you guys enter. What you do enter is first a sort of waiting room. It's obvious that this is not his office proper. There are several couches and areas for seating, tables, low tables along the ground. Colonel Rambos turns to you, and I'm assuming you have given him the case, so he's holding the case?
Sure.
Is that accurate? Okay. So he holds the case. He says, now, if you'll excuse me, please make yourself comfortable in my office. I will be back momentarily. I'm going to go, go into my personal office beyond, and take a moment to examine some of these documents.
Hang on. Do you mind? We've been through a lot. We'd like to have one or two of us accompany the case.
He's going to do a sense motive on you. He looks at you and is like, I think that would be satisfactory. I assume it will be you, Mr. Conundrum. Do you have an associate that you wish to bring with us? I think 2 would be satisfactory, don't you?
Certainly. Would anyone else like to come with?
Probably
Sure, I'll go. I mean, if we want to split up.
might want to do Arrendar, because he's can do weapons if need be.
Yeah.
Bondi's got. Does Bondi got weapons? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I can fight.
I'll either go with Titus or what he said, get comfortable in his office. I'm gonna be the one that walks around and sits in his chair.
Well, so this is an anteroom, so you're not in his office, and it's in his office. The door isn't open. Basically, he's got you in a waiting room, and there's a table. His adjutant who joined the man who joined him as you guys were walking across the area of the Lyceum, which is his adjutant, says, as Mr. Conundrum, Mr. Arrendar, if you will accompany the captain, I will see the rest of you. I will see to your comfort. May I find anything for anybody? Does anybody wish something to drink or a snack, perhaps?
Sure.
Yes, we're all a bit.
I will return momentarily with refreshments for everyone. The captain nods to him, and then he says, "Mr. Conundrum, Mr. Arrendar, if you will accompany me into my office." And he opens the ornate wooden door that opens into a office. You guys, everybody else you can see this very clearly. The door opens, and there's a office in there that looks more like an office. There's a desk, there's bookcases, there's a couple of chairs, sort of corked around the front of the desk. He immediately sort of goes behind and asks, "Mr. Conundrum, if you would please close the door."
I call back to Ray, don't shoot anybody that I wouldn't. Which didn't limit who he could shoot.
Okay.
So I close it, but not all the way. I leave it open a crack.
Okay. So he goes around to his side of the desk. He takes the case, and he cracks it open, and he very gently sort of sets it on his side, reaches his hands in, pulls out the entirety of the documents, and sets them over to the side, next to the case. At that point, he ignores the documents. He's like, then he notices you guys are standing up. He goes like, "Gentlemen, please sit. This will only take a moment." You see him. He pulls a small, very thin dagger out of a desk drawer, and he opens up the case and he begins poking around inside it. And you can see he's testing it to see if there are any hidden compartments or anything like that. That takes the better part of a minute as he's doing that. He doesn't seem to find anything, or at least if he does, he doesn't give it away. You know, his facial features or the way he's acting don't seem to give it away. And he pushes the case to the side and sets the dagger down, and then goes and begins to look at the papers. And he begins sort of sorting them out in different piles. Part of the papers, as you guys will recall, was a small book that was written in a language that I don't think any of you understood. Does anybody speak Infernal?
Give me a second.
Do not.
I don't think so.
I do,
Okay.
Bondrum does.
You do?
Bondrum
You will recall taking a peek inside this book at some point and realizing that it seems to be it's in Infernal, but it seems to be in some sort of code. You know, when Titus was able to duplicate all the documents, it didn't duplicate itself in book form. It's just a sheaf of documents that are in Infernal, and you can see that at one point, Captain Rambos says, "I'm assuming." Now, let me get this. I just want to make sure that I've got this right. Are the duplicates in the case, or do you have them somewhere else?
Probably have them somewhere else.
Yeah, we wouldn't have put him in the same case. That would have defeated the purpose.
Okay, so where are they? Are they on somebody's person? Are they hidden somewhere back at the Supreme Squid? Did that guy from Vidor take them? What? 'Cause I know that you did not deliver them to Kazakh.
No. He never showed himself again when we took off.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they'd be on somebody.
We can't tell you. We don't know
I don't
who you
remember.
are right now.
I have no memory.
Poe would probably have them because he's the one that transcribed them, so he'd
Yeah,
probably be the one that had the copy of them.
I thought Titus transcribed them.
With a spell.
Yeah, he did using magic. But still, if it was books and pages, we would have given it to Poe to hold on to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's kind of got an affinity for that sort of thing.
Gotcha. All right. So Poe, you have the copies. So he looks through it. You can see him separating these documents and he finally sits down in the chair and looks up at you and says, "You have brought us a very interesting set of documents, I must say.
That's what we hear.
With you, yeah, you know, these could be incredibly helpful to General Steckert and the magistrate Volthford. Frankly, as chief of security here, these documents are will not be on my understanding. Certainly, I understand what's written here, but they would be on an appreciable and applicable use of them. It's beyond the remit of my duties. With your permission, of course.
For sure.
I would like to share these with General Steckart and the magistrate and get their impression on them. General Steckart is the head of military operations in Seaquen currently. Is a Mwangi by nature, by upbringing, and as good a soldier as I have ever known. In my opinion, these would be of a specific interest to him.
I'm okay with it. It's above our pay grade anyway, so yeah.
All right. And with that, he's like, okay, great. He stands up, goes around to the door, and says, "Adjutant, go to General Steckart's office and tell him that I need to see him on a matter of some urgency regarding some information that has recently come to Seaquen, and that if he would come to my offices as soon as is possible, I would be in his debt." The adjutant's like, "Yes, sir," and he hustles out. Takes a few minutes.
Ask him to bring steak sandwiches too.
Huh?
And ask him to bring some steak sandwiches too.
He brought refreshments, no, not steak sandwiches, but some fried bologna, pimento cheese,
As long as it's got cheese.
and you know, a variety of vegetables, okra, raw okra, you know, and things of that nature. You know, just delicious, hearty fare.
Now can I shoot him?
My old man used to make fried bologna sandwiches. You ever buy a stick of bologna, unsliced bologna?
Oh, God.
On purpose.
Yeah, because then you can make thick fried bologna sandwich.
That's exactly what we did, man. I've eaten more than one. All right, so it's only a few minutes, and then another man arrives. This man is older than the captain. Gray haired. He's gray haired, dark skin, obviously of Mwangi extraction. He's wearing a plate, a plate. Cuirass, but even though he's a man in his probably late 40s, early 50s, by the color of his hair and that kind of stuff, he moves with a certain military bearing and grace that, for those of you of a martial bent, would indicate that he probably knows how to swing a sword, one of which hangs at a curved one of which hangs at his belt. He comes in and he kind of looks around as he comes through the waiting room and then comes into the captain's office, who stands up. General, thank you for coming so quickly. I have with me Mr. Titus Conundrum and Mr. Arrendar of Gate Pass. They and their friends arrived recently from Gate Pass and brought us what looks to be some intelligence of significant use. These documents were in a case provided to them by Torrent. And at what that point his eyebrow raised. Torrent, indeed. And go ahead. What are you saying?
Arrendar would have chimed in and said Torrent whenever.
Gotcha.
Asking about who it came from. Yeah,
you get the impression that General Steckert knows, or at least knew of Torrent. And the captain goes on and says, they also were present when Gate Pass was taken. They've only recently arrived in Seaquen after much trouble on the road, as you can imagine. But they were able to bring us these documents. And he says, if you would come around the other side of the desk, sir. The guy comes around and he looks at you and he's like, Mr. Conundrum, Mr.
Mr. of Gate Pass.
Mr. Arrendar of Gate Pass. And sort of nods at you. And you can see them sort of like hover together. It's like, what have we got here? And you could hear them fairly clearly, but it's obvious that they're talking to each other and not to you guys. And it's like, what have we got here? Well, you can see these troop movements here. You can see these are financial documents that have showed that they've been planning this for a great deal of time. And you can see there's a phase 2 and a phase 3 of these issues where we can see if we coordinate. And he goes, and you can see the captain sort of point to a largish map of the region. So you could see the troop movements seem to align exactly with these phases. He goes, that is an interest. Had they, are there future? He goes, oh yes, it's right here. They talk like that for quite a little bit of time, potentially like 8 to 10 minutes. It's almost as if they have forgotten you guys are there. At which point they're like, the general, the captain's continuing to talk, and the general's like, hold on. And he turns to you guys and say, could you please describe to me what happened to Torrent and why she is not with you? The captain here has told me that you informed him that she met an untimely end on the travels. It was a fire beetle, you say?
A humongously large fire beetle.
And was she fighting it? It did not seem like something she would do.
No, she was pretty much quite useless. No, I was kidding.
I knew Torrent, but not what I knew Torrent, but not well. But one of the things that she always used to do was not fight in any sort of altercations that ever took place, regardless of their proximity.
Yeah, Arrendar will, spin the tale and at least try to not make her look so useless, but kind of say what went on.
So you mean lie?
Well, let's just say omit some truthful facts. It's not a lie. It's just
lying well.
It's not a.
It's a good lie.
It's a good lie.
It's not a lie if you believe it. All right. So he's like, well, that is sad. Torrent was, for a non-combatant, she was a advisor. She actually sat as an associate member of the council here in Seaquen, and she will be missed. Her lack of martial ability and her intelligence always marked her as somebody that would have something interesting yet ultimately impractical to contribute.
That's the one.
So he's basically saying, look, you guys have done a great service here. This is an incredible trove of documentation, which frankly will prompt us. The arrival of these documents. We should. And he looks to the captain, and the captain sort of nods at him. He says, "We should call a war council about these documents, because this information, this intelligence provides us with some very interesting counterpoints to the assumptions that we had made historically about what's going on." So he says, "So we are in your debt. You have how long have you been in town? Did you arrive? The captain said you arrived yesterday."
Yeah.
Okay. And you've secured lodgings. Everything is comfortable.
As far as you know.
I need to. So he goes to the captain. He goes, well, he's talking to all of you. He says, I need to, if I'm going to summon a war council, I need to talk to the headmaster, some of the faculty, and the rest of the military wing about bringing this. He looks to you guys. He says, considering what you've brought us here, and the fact that Torrent has now sadly departed this vale of tears, I think it would be best if at least one representative of your group, if not the whole group, sat in on this war council as advisors and providers of information.
Oh, I'll definitely do that.
Would you be amenable to that?
I'll always do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent. It's likely I should be able to arrange for a council to take place sometime tomorrow afternoon. I will provide you. Where are you staying? Where you may you be reached?
Tell them which place we're staying at.
The squid.
The Supreme
Wow.
Squid. I know it. I know it well.
Is there going to be a mage on this war council?
There will almost certainly be several.
Because I can't tell you magic from seawater, but we were told that there was information in there that had to do with why teleports didn't work in Gates Pass.
And as you say that, you can see the captain sort of raise his eyebrow, and he's sort of like, he's like, and he points to a smaller stack of documents that are covered in sort of arcane writings and things like that. He says, I think that's what he's talking about. He goes, yes, I understand. Yes, to your question, the headmaster of the Lyceum, a man called Simeon, is a mage of some note, and there will be several among his faculty that will likely be in attendance. Again, in the same capacity as yourselves, in the capacity of advisors. And almost certainly there will be enough educated magical individuals to be able to make use of these documents. Certainly, it is of immense value. But yes, to your question, there will be people there who understand this sort of thing.
Okay, just making sure there will be some smart folk.
And to your earlier question, magic is the manipulation of the outside world through means that are non-physical, whereas seawater is what you see out there over to the north.
I concentrate on holes, which I put in things. Everybody has their niche.
It's like he pulls out an arrow. See this pointy thing? I put that in people.
I send that through people's lungs at high speed.
Well, gentlemen, thank you again for bringing this to our attention. I will send word to the Supreme Squid and to ensure that you are to apprise you of the time and location. Although almost certainly it will be on the 5th floor of this very building, the council chambers. I will alert you as to the time so that you may be in attendance. With your permission, we will continue to examine these documents in more detail, especially the military ones. The captain and I will, he sort of stands up, he says, with your permission, the captain and I will take these documents into our custody. With our thanks, you may continue to examine them at any time as you wish. But they will be stored in the captain's safe until once we've done examine them throughout this course of the afternoon. They'll be stored in the safe, and then brought and distributed to the War Council tomorrow afternoon when we finally lock up down everybody's schedule.
Question, did you find anything interesting in the case prodding around? Were there any secret compartments or documents?
Captain? The captain says, well, I looked, I did prod around a little bit in it. The case seems fairly standard, a little bit worse for wear, although that seems sensible considering the travels that you have described to me. There did not seem to be any secret or hidden areas within the case. And he goes to the general and says, General, I examined the case, albeit not with my normal thoroughness. I was anxious to look at the documents. I did not find any traps or any sort of hidden compartments. And the general says, with your permission, gentlemen, adjutant. And the guy comes back and he says, I want you to take this case down to the artificer's lab, and I want you to have them go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Anything of note that they find, regardless of how small or impractical, is to be reported to me immediately, as well as scribed and dispatched by messenger to the Supreme Squid, care of Titus Conundrum. The guy takes the case and goes out. Well then, gentlemen, in the meantime, if you would like, we may arrange for a tour of the Lyceum so that you may potentially examine some of the classes in play or enjoy yourselves on the grounds. Or if you wish, we will escort you to the gates and you may continue on with the business at hand during the day. Again, I will alert you as to when the council will be as soon as I'm able to get everyone's schedule or, but my assumption is it will be tomorrow afternoon. It's late morning now, approaching noon.
I may have asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. You said this is a trade place. So if we were looking to sell off a bunch of the sort of crap that we have and convert it to cash, this would be a decent place to do it.
The general seems.
Well, no, I'm not going to ask the general.
Oh, you're asking me.
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
Because you mentioned that this is a big trade area. We've got some items that we couldn't really sell off because they were too highbrow for the Cajun swamp city in the whatever. So
yeah, no, frankly, it's depending on the item. So this is a trade place in the sense of that it is a promontory in a river, and it is a natural trading post of sorts for mundane goods. So the protected harbor obviously is of note, but also there's a fair amount of warehouses and stuff like that where people so there's a fair amount of mundane trade. So any sort of mundane thing that you want to acquire, you can acquire here. As for if you have things, and I'm assuming you're referring to like magic items and things like that.
No, at this point, we've got a masterwork Elvish horn, a masterwork silver lyre.
Oh, okay.
A compendium of songs. We've got a bunch of stuff, a gold box. We've got a bunch of stuff that are worth gold pieces.
Gotcha. Okay.
That we haven't really been able to do anything with up until now. We also have some magic items, minor ones.
Okay.
That weren't taken by individual people.
Okay.
And I mean, like, for instance, we have robes that don't show normal wear and tear and always look freshly laundered. So
that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice, but it's not super expensive, and it's not anything that you need like a major metropolitan area.
True.
Depending on what sort of interest there might be in it. So effectively what I'd like to do is convert a bunch of this crap into money so that I can give it out to everybody.
Okay.
Instead of carrying around all of this junk.
All right, so couple of things happening there. So for the magic items, you're in the right place. The Lyceum has a magic shop that traditionally serves the students and the faculty. So if things that are magic, especially things that are sort of like you described the cloaks, that would be something interesting to them because it's not something that they would normally have. I mean, potion scrolls, okay, ever going to make them. They have labs here that, that they could do that kind of stuff. But something like that would be interesting and not an atypical. And you would find a ready market for it here in the Lyceum, as well as for other magic items. For mundane items, including ones of high dollars, the city will have various kinds of, they have goldsmiths, they have, you know, a branch of, they don't have a ton of homes here, but they do have a variety of shops. They have, you know, with the Elvish stuff, that remember the Plains elves have a blockade around the city. So there's elves in the town. You know, there's certain shops. Elves have done business in Seaquen for, you know, hundreds of years. So they're certainly thick on the ground. So yeah, you would find a ready market for probably all that material.
Okay. So I'll get you at some point.
Yeah, you want to do all this offline?
Yeah, exactly. I'll send you over a list of all the stuff. Some of it has dollar value assigned or gold piece value assigned to it.
Okay.
Other stuff doesn't. And then you can just send me back a list of money.
Okay.
And then I can divide that amongst all of the characters and we'll be.
Is it a lot of stuff? I mean, if it's not a lot, we can just rip it off right here.
No, it's more than I would.
It's a
like
bunch.
to-
Okay.
Yeah, to do right now.
Okay.
I mean, it's maybe not excessive, but I'd rather we get back into,
Yeah.
because that can be done via email pretty easily.
Okay. All right. So you guys, I'm assuming, are going to leave the Lyceum and head back. Is there anything in town specifically that you're looking to do while you're sort of killing time?
We'd probably be doing what Chuck's going to do via email. We'd probably be doing that the first day here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just take
Yeah.
care of that kind of running around.
You know.
Well, that, and if they have a magic shop, they might sell stuff too. So if anybody with the money they have is interested in trying to find a magic item, I mean,
Right.
we can shop that sort of role play style, but I just think all the rest of this would just be easier if I send you a list, you send me back a gold piece value.
I'd like to stop at an alchemical shop
Yeah.
before leaving the area.
There's actually, you know, it's a weird kind of situation for the city of Seaquen, in that you have a lot of refugees who are needing resources, and in some cases flooding the merchants and shops of this area with whatever they were able to bring with them from wherever they ran away from. Right. So they're doing their best they can. A lot of them have gotten jobs and things. So there has been a fair amount of material that has flowed into Seaquen. At the same time, that has been translated into things like food, water, shelter, you know, Maslow's hierarchy stuff, that they're doing. That has largely not touched the Lyceum very much. There are certainly magic brokers, magic item brokers that are in the city. And including some that have popped up. There are also various kinds of brokers and stuff that have popped up inside the refugee camps as well. Remember, you know, when you went into the refugee camp last time, you and Arrendar, when Wraith and Arrendar went in, you guys came up on an ale stall, you know, a 4-seat ale stall that this guy had cobbled together, made some ale and was selling it to try and, you know, keep things going. You know, it was just something that he did before he ran away, and now it's something that he's doing here. So that kind of thing exists a lot, both in the camps and to a certain extent in the city. When you get back to the Supreme Squid, there's a couple of things waiting for you. First, there's a messenger who has stopped. Is obviously he's a fighter. He's wearing you know, a similar symbol to the ones that the general and the captain wore, that same symbol that Torrent had, and he's there to tell you that a couple of things. One, that an investigation of the case found no hidden compartments or anything like that. It was just a straight up case. Nothing else in there. Second, that for Vondrum, and who's referred to as Master Vondrum, has been cordially invited to take place as a representative of the Cabal School in Gate Pass, newly arrived in Seaquen, is cordially invited to participate in the wizard duels taking place later this afternoon.
I will cordially be thankful for their invitation, but I am not a duelist and not interested. But I will watch the people play with their egos and their skills happily with something to drink while I do it.
Keep in mind that these are non-lethal contests. Many of the students of the Lyceum, and he's just this messenger saying many of the students of the Lyceum are very much aware of Gabal's courageous and tragic last stand at the walls of Gate Pass, and it is rare that students of Gabal's, especially students students who were not with him when he was killed, have arrived in the Lyceum. It's been a long time, and they are eager to test their skills against somebody who served under who learned under Gabal himself.
Actually, in Thondrum's backstory, he really was not interested in dueling. That was part of where he fell apart away from. There was nothing that interested him. Night Owen. So her character, he really would not be interested.
Not be interested. Okay, so
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
reject. Okay.
Yeah, but it's really simple. They're going to count to 3. On 2, scream Expelliarmus, and then you win. I've watched the movies. That's how it works.
So, all right. So he was like, I'm sad, but I will of course, bring your response back to them. I'm certain they will be disappointed though. So please be, if you happen to change your mind, please let us know. Second, and that's the messenger from the Lyceum. As you guys go in, Faye actually says to you guys, where's that kid, the monk? Where's he at? Is he around? Is he with you? I got a message for him. He got a message from one of the camps. And she says, when she sees Ono, she says, "Oh, there you are. Here. It's a little rolled up piece of papyrus." Ono unrolls it, and basically scrawled on it is
Tic-tac-toe game.
tic-tac-toe game. No, it is. It's basically said, "I am. My name is Alesia from the hold on. I have it written down here somewhere. From the order, my name is Alesia from the Order of the Echoed Souls. It is my understanding that a monk from your monastery, which escapes me, has arrived recently and is staying here. It is our intention to test your training and your skills against ours. Would you be willing to meet in the Lyceum's dueling arena for a test of skill and strength?
Well, it's a boot to the head competition.
Like, yeah.
Ono's down for that. I know he is.
Well, so what's the name of your order?
I haven't read my bio in about a year. Hang on, let me find it.
I had it written down, and I lost it.
Boot to the head order.
Find it.
The Temple of Boot to the Head.
Yeah.
Temple of Boot to the Head. Wow, there it goes. Okay.
It's just what's the name of the? I'm sorry. I should know this. I should
join
know
a monastery, acolyte monk. Here it is.
Untwisting Iron. Monastery of Untwisting Iron.
Untwisting Iron. So this is the monastery of Echoed Soul, the Order of Echoed Souls, wishes to challenge the monastery, the Order of Untwisting Iron.
Yes.
Untwisting Iron in a demonstration of skill, strength, and technique.
I accept.
Okay.
We would have accepted for you if you didn't.
All right, you accept. The moment you say I accept, a young street urchin who is like sort of hanging out in the back of the thing sort of runs out of the room and takes off. your assumption is that that kid is going back to say that this is taking place. So essentially, you get messages later on by the same street urchin that says, "I will meet you this afternoon at the duelist at the dueling arena at the Lyceum for a display of skill and strength to determine which of our orders is the most is the best, is the most skilled." Obviously, wagering will be involved.
Hey, Les, is
I
Fig still
accept
around?
and I
Is
look
what
forward
now?
to this contest.
Is Fig still around?
Yeah, Fig's there. He came to you guys. Actually, came to you guys as soon as you came in the squid, and basically, hey, what's going on? How'd it go to the Lyceum?
We took over.
You got your case taken away, yeah?
They made us the rulers of the place.
well then, is there anything I can do for you? Besides change my accent 40 times in one sitting.
No, that's good. We appreciate that.
He can probably help us find places to sell this stuff. But
Yeah, in fact, he would be instrumental in that kind of stuff. He's like, I know a guy who loves this kind of thing. Let me take you to him. That kind of stuff. So actually, if you rely on Fig to help you out with this, I will add an additional 10% to the numbers I was thinking of.
Sweet.
All right. So
Okay, let's
the
go.
contest. Ono has accepted. So do you guys want to go to the dueling ground to check it out?
Yeah.
All right, let me get you there. So some of the things that you should know is that while there is vigorous wagering, there is not vigorous cheating. So you guys will not be allowed. In fact, probably Ono would tell you this. It's like, please do not interfere in any way. This is about our orders, and how our orders work. So please don't interfere in any way. This is for me to demonstrate the power of my order.
so should we vote? Should we put bets on you or against you?
Ono typically does go to a new town and tries to find a fight just because he likes to box, just from the sheer pleasure of boxing. He is a boxer, a fighter. He kicks, he hits.
Obviously,
he does not. He's too smart and wise to really get involved in mind games about which monastery is more powerful. That's all very silly because he does like to box, and he accepts this challenge because he wants to box.
All right, there you have it. All right, so
I'm putting money on him.
on Ono?
I am. Damn straight.
yep. I'm putting a little bit on him.
All right, so right
Every
now
week,
it's
but
even money. Nobody really knows much about either of these guys. So it's even money right now. So any bets will be matched, but you need to each of you can bet what you think.
It's even. So that means basically it's double or nothing, right?
Yep. Even odds.
I have no idea what an appropriate bet would be. Yeah, I'm with Poe.
Don't bet too much. Really, I don't want to be responsible for everybody losing.
You don't want to be responsible for us all doubling our money? Come on now. There'll be no blood, no swearing, no loss of weapons.
It's like a suit of leather armor. That's not a big deal. And 10 gold pieces isn't that much.
Typically, the monks do fight, but it's bare hands, no weapons, no armor. Just fists, feet, and That
is correct. This is a monkish combat in this regard from a challenge standpoint against individuals of an order. It is every order is different from the point of view of what training they receive, what techniques they use, that kind of thing. And these sort of challenges take place all the time when members of two or different orders come together in one place. Obviously, your presence in town has been remarked upon by the Order of Echoed Souls, and this is an opportunity for them to challenge you.
Yeah. Ono is a bit mystified. He tries to keep a low profile. He doesn't swagger or posture. He is just a second rank fighter. Nothing to see here. Now and then he goes to a new town and picks a fight, but we all do, right?
That's what I do when I go to new towns.
Pick a fight.
or new prisons. You know what they say, when you go to prison, you find the biggest, toughest guy and you immediately attack him to establish your place in the hierarchy.
Right.
So I guess that's what's happening here. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready, sure.
Let's do this. All right, so all of you go to the back to the Lyceum.
I'm around for all of us. We're gonna have fun.
All of you go back to the Lyceum and you make your way to the dueling ground. Vondrum, this is not a place that you're not a fan of dueling, so you're just like, ugh. But you can see that there are already people there, including a judge and a rules master up in the box. So let's just go and do that.
Okay. All right.
So as you can
Dueling
see,
is like for Vondrum, dueling was half the reason that he pretty much lopped out of the School of Cabal. That's why it would just be so not in character.
I thought I had a HP of 41 since I became level 5.
I'm guessing it's inappropriate to buff the fighter.
Should be
no,
more than that, shouldn't
Please
it?
don't.
Huh?
It's got to be all me, just me. Les, I think my HP should be 41.
41. What does it
Yeah.
say?
30.
Hold on a second.
So,
I can fix it. Hold on a second.
so if an arrow magically appeared in your opponent, that
That'd be
would
a
be
problem, I
helpful.
guess.
Just bad luck that he just stepped into the direction of this arrow.
Well, my friends, I am your loyal comrade. I will always stand by you no matter what. But I implore you, please let me handle this.
Yeah, not do anything.
And this really is a question of honor, and plus I like to box. I'm a monk. One of the ways that I calm my own seething soul is I box. I hit things, and I'm 18. I actually have a lot of rage inside me, but one of the ways I cope with my rage is I fight. So please allow me to have this therapy session.
That's not rage, it's testosterone. And when you're ready, I'll explain to you a better way to get it out.
Oh no, it's a chaste monk, and he's a teenager. All right, so Alicia Devilhand.
Alicia Devilhand. He so this is what he looks like. Hold on a second. He's a big dude, has the mark, the 2 marks on his head of the Echoed Souls, and he steps forward.
Hey, look, Wraith, targets.
Now.
This guy comes with his own bullseyes. How awesome is that?
2 of them. If you miss a little south, you're still good.
He steps forward 5 feet and he says, "Oh no, of the untwisted iron." Thank you for accepting my challenge. Today, I will show you the superiority of the Order of Echoed Souls. Do you have anything you wish to say before combat is enjoined?
Greetings. Alicia Devilhand, I bring you greetings from the Monastery of Untwisted Iron. Very humbly. I have come here to seek a lesson. And I bow.
Then it shall be a lesson that I give you. Are you prepared?
Yes, sir.
Roll then for initiative.
Coming up. Here we go. Initiative. Where's my initiative? I can never find this. There it is. Hang on. Select me and select my initiative. And 15.
Ooh, okay. So
All right.
let me
Okay, great.
All right. So are the rest of you doing anything other than spectating? And by anything, I mean cheating in any way.
Just watching.
Watching. I bought a round of beer for all of us.
All right. The rules guy who looks like this. That's a rules guy if I've ever seen one right there. He switches chairs. Usually he would be overlooking the thing, but he switches chairs and now he's overlooking where you guys are sitting. Just to be sure that everything is on the up and up.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Randar in twin speak. Should I shoot him?
Is that a waterproof shower cap on his head?
Definitely.
It is. Showers, as you can imagine, in the refugee camps are in short supply. So he has to keep both his hair and, his shoulders from being moisturized.
Got it.
All right. Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I got to do the rounds. This is good to see how things. All right. Oh, no. It is round 1.
Okay.
You have won the initiative.
All right. Now, question. I'm still about 70 feet from him.
These are 5-foot squares.
So 35 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna just advance to here.
Okay.
What's he doing?
Nothing. It's not his initiative.
Not his turn.
Can I run up to here?
You're just going to charge him
and do a stunning fist?
You can do a single attack.
Okay, you could try.
Here, okay. I will attempt a stunning fist.
All right.
I declare stunning fist. And I do a 13.
13 is a miss. You see him sort of dodge out of the way as the fist goes, through where his head used to be. He moves with incredible quickness to dodge out of the way.
That's fine.
You see him step back and he throws up an elbow and then underneath comes an uppercut to you as he tries to do stunning fist on you as well. And if I can find, where is things? So what is your, okay. So here we go. One momentito. Natural 20.
Wow. Really?
Oh.
And a 20 to confirm. Does a 20 confirm? I don't think so. I think your AC is higher than that. But
my AC is 21.
21. All right. So unconfirmed, but that is a hit for the stunning fist. So let us see, shall we? What does stunning fist do?
A lot.
That's why he took it out.
You must declare you're using it. It forces a foe damaged by your unarmored attack to make a fortitude save, which is the DC in this case will be. One moment. DC is 16 or become fatigued.
You got this. You got this.
All right. And in the meantime, the damage is 1d6. Oh, wait, no. 1d8 plus 1. This guy punches. You don't think that you have ever been punched as hard by this guy, by someone as much as this guy just topped you. These guys from the Echoes Monastery know how to throw a punch.
Apparently.
Max damage. You take 9 points of non-lethal damage, and you must do a DC 16 fort save or be fatigued for, I think it's 1 round, but.
Ow. Okay. A fort save. Is that con or
no, fortitude. We're back in Pathfinder, so it's a regular fortitude save.
Here it is. Gotcha. All right, here we go. Fortitude. 14.
Fortitude, you did not make it, so you are fatigued for 1 round. A fatigue
my
character
God.
can neither run nor charge, -2 penalty to strength and dex.
Ah, man. Okay, so let me add that in here. -2 dex and -2 to strength.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just add that in. Okay, I have added that in as a temp on both scores. Wow,
Wait,
so
I'm sorry. I'm wrong about the fatigue. You are fatigued until you make the save. So at the beginning of each round, you will try to make that save again.
Okay,
And if you
that's
miss
fine.
it, you remain fatigued. All
Thank
right, your turn. Round 2.
Phew, okay, I don't know if I can do another stunning fist. I really want to return the favor.
You can do them until you're out of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many I have.
The tiny people in the stands that I put there earlier are bellowing in glee as they see the fight break out. You charged across and he was just like, boom.
Yep. All right. I came out swinging and doing my best here. So I am trying to figure out how many you may attempt a stunning attack once per day for every 4 levels. So I get 1 more.
Is that right?
It should be X plus. Should be X.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this guy who I think is the same level as you, and he has 5 of them.
About 4 or 5, if I had to guess.
Wait, it says here you may attempt a stunning attack once per day for every 4 levels you have attained, but see special. So I'm level 5, thus I think I get
2. That would be. That's weird though. That's a weird way to do that. Is it maybe his order is different?
Okay, so does he get 5? Actually,
Well, it says 5, so I want it to be fair. So let's give you 5 as well.
5. All right. Okay. Well, all right, then I'm gonna try another stunning fist on this heavy set chap.
Okay.
Here comes trouble. I do a wow.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Dice, you're like, okay.
Wow. All right. Let's confirm that fumble, everyone. Go ahead. Let me get the chart ready just in case, because I have a feeling that's on its way. Go ahead. Let's see it. Oh, non-confirmed fumble. So he dodges again. You rear back and you just try to punch right through his head. But just because of you're still a little goggled from the stunning fist that you just got. That he dodges out of the way deftly.
Man.
That's crazy.
Okay, you've got 6. That's the text from the SRD.
Huh, I wonder why it says that plus 1 more time per day for every 4 levels. He has in classes other than monk. Okay.
So it's your monk level plus 1 every 4.
Got it.
At level, you've got 6.
So 6.
You got 6 of them.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, great. Well, I've used 2. Getting my ass kicked here. Did I fumble or no?
No, you did not fumble. 23 would have hit him, so that is an unconfirmed fumble, but you do miss.
You need to do your save this round.
A save, yes.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah.
So I click on Fortitude and 26.
Made it. Natural 20. So yes, so you are now not fatigued.
Yeah, take those fatigue penalties.
Shook it off.
All right, great. Hot damn. Okay, bring it on.
All right, he is. You immediately recognize that this monastery, they use the Scorpion style, which is a combat focused style to fight. It's very you understand that it's very good for combat. It's very dangerous, but certainly not.
All right, he's got the perfect style to combat that.
That's right. So what he's going to do is he's going to step forward here. He's going to grab you. He's going to run 1 hand across your chest and then put 1 foot behind you and try and push you over and trip you with a CMB attack.
That little trick? Jeez, really? All right.
That is what he is doing, and it's going to work too because I am rolling like crazy.
So it seems.
14. Does that beat your CMD? I imagine it does not.
My CMD is 28.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It does not beat you there. So you managed to step out of the way of his trip attempt, and that is it for him.
Okay, great. Can I hit him now?
You could try.
Here it comes. I want yet another stunning fist.
Okay.
That way you still get 2 attacks, just one of them is a stunning fist.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Do your flurry of blows so you get multiple attacks. And
Okay.
you designate like the first one.
I don't think you can use flurry of blows and stunning fist in the same attack.
Yeah, you can.
I don't think so.
I actually don't know.
Played 2 monks, so.
Yeah, but you cheat all the time. That's the thing.
Oh, if you don't get caught, it's not cheating.
Oh my God.
You write the rules and the DM believes you, it's not cheating.
Let me try to find that. Hold on a minute. Late night game night.
Hold on.
Unchained Monk. Unchained Monk.
Let me see if I can find where it says that.
Oops. Unchained Monk here. I'm on the Unchained Monk page on D20.
Okay. Flurry of blows. When doing so, he may make 1 additional attack. These attacks can be any combination of unarmed strikes and attacks with a monk special weapon for the purpose of these attacks. Blah blah blah. All right. I do not see anything here that says you cannot use stunning fists with flurry of blows. So I guess you can.
Okay.
You still max out at 1 per. You can't do like if you have 4 attacks, you can't do 4 stunning blow attacks. You only do 1 per.
Right.
Well, hang on. If I do flurry of blows, I weird. Crane style strike. I'm -2 to hit, +1 AC. Flurry of blows. It says I'm +5/+5. That's weird. Wonder what's going on there. I'm not sure how this Pathfinder sheet.
Yeah, I use the Excel sheet because it just works. So.
Yeah. I respect the Excel sheet. I had some complications.
Right.
So Poe just sent me a link here. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I'm checking it.
Thank you.
Just basically is saying that the 2 can be done together.
Okay.
Stunning fist feat does not say it requires a standard action. It only says that you must state before using that. It means it could be a part of any attack action. Okay, good. Then there we go.
All right, great. So okay, I'm gonna try this flurry of blows, and the first one is gonna be a stunning fist.
Okay.
And here we go. I do a 14 and a 17. I think they both missed.
They are both misses, as this guy is dodging and moving around dexterously to avoid your strikes.
Yeah.
He was not too pleased about the failed trip attempt. So he is going to go back to doing unarmed strike, and he is going to do flurry of blows.
All right.
But not stunning fist.
Okay.
Here's the first strike.
Another 20. Man, wow.
Another 20 and an 8th for the second one. So that's a miss. But well, the second one we'll just use as the confirmation, and then his second attack is a 23. So 2 hits.
Wow.
As he just pops you twice with non-lethal damage.
Gracious. Okay.
14 points
Total.
As he's just like his hands seem to come up underneath your defenses and just like boom, boom. You keep getting chapped in the chin, and you're like the scorpion style versus the crane style. Yeah. The scorpion style is good for hitting people, no question about it.
Yes, it is. And also
you haven't laid a hand on him yet, so he's leading 3-0.
And those natural 20s kind of hurt me too.
Yeah, they do.
All right, great. Is
all
it my turn now?
It is.
All right, I'm gonna try flurry of blows again. The first one is a stunning fist.
All right.
Ah, man.
A 13 and 11. 2 more misses.
Wow.
Okay, when you use that sheet, you got the most horrible die roll luck ever.
I know. Yeah, I do. But you know, at least I'm immune
I
to
think that's
all
made it into double digits.
disease.
He rolled an 8, a natural 8, and a natural 6. That's
I
brutal.
rule.
Okay, so all of his attacks so far, yeah, started with a 6, and then it went to a 1. And that was a confirmed, and then so 6, then 1, then 9, and 12. The only time he's actually made double digits, and then 8, and then 6.
Wow. Wow.
Sometimes in boxing, you have an off day. I'm
And
having an off day.
And somewhere on a different plane of existence, Lothar feels the weight of worst die roller ever lifted from his shoulders.
Oh man. All right. So I assume since I missed, he's gonna try to hit me again.
No, he's gonna.
Yes, he actually is going to take another 5-foot step and try to trip you again in the same manner that he tried to trip you earlier.
Really? No way.
Yeah, that's what he's going to try and do. Here we
Never
go. Oh man, the trips are not working.
Oh.
But the now he's just going to go for the uppercuts from now on out.
All right.
All right, you're up again.
All right, fine. Flurry of blows. Stunning fist.
Now, are you about when you declare stunning fist and you don't hit? That's still a use of that stunning fist, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
All right. So how many do you have left after this one?
I have 2 left. And
2 left.
I missed it and missed.
Yeah, you miss and missed. So more wild haymakers from Ono as this guy is doing it. He's going to come back and he is going to do a flurry of blows at you around your defenses as he did before. So the first strike, ooh, missed it, blocked. Second one also blocked. Maybe the tables have turned.
Hardly. I'm down more than half my hit points. I'm not feeling great. I am, as they might say in a later time, on the ropes.
Okay.
All right,
Before we start, we're starting round 6.
Yes, sir.
The bookie comes around and says, if anybody wants to increase their bets, they can. They cannot take away their bets or change them from one thing. But if you want to increase, now is the time. This is an opportunity. Anybody want to increase their bet? Or I see some of you haven't bet at all. Maybe you want to bet on Alicia. Titus looks like he's ready to bet on the other guy.
I wouldn't blame you. You know, it does no harm to earn some quick cash. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
I just want to cheat, but I'm not. I'm just sitting on my hands.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend that somebody sneezed and cast a bless.
Oh wait, hang on. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, Ono does this.
Who doesn't bless you?
I mean, you all know that since Ono was maybe age 15 or so, he does go to new towns and pick fights. So sometimes he wins, at times he gets his ass kicked, you know. So again, it's just another day in the life of Ono. So is it his turn or is it my turn?
Yeah, as it's your turn, but as the thing, and Ono, you don't notice this, but
Don't. Oh no.
Ono.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't notice this, but as the fight is commencing, the rest of you in the stands notice that you remember Katerina from who you rescued from the hole, the prison at the Hag's hideout.
Yes, I do.
She rolls it. She rolls in, and she reaches over. She steps over, and she gives Wraith an elbow and says, "Hey, I heard your boy was fighting one of the Echoes guys. I came here to see it." And she steps over to the she steps over to the bookie and she says 25 on the kid from out of town on
Wow.
Ono.
25?
It's 25. And she says, it's a room to sit next to you. Here, let me squeeze in here. Excuse me, Polearm, get your thing out of the way there. I'm sitting next to
I was gonna say, I'll offer her a hand up.
She plops down next to you and says, how's our boy doing? And then she looks over and she's like, oh shit, I just bet 25 on him.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's a late rounder.
He's a late rounder. All right. Round 6. Oh no. Now is the chance to turn it around. 25 gold pieces from a hot girl.
A hot girl? Wait, what?
Oh yeah. Katarina from the Hags. Here she looks like. There
Okay.
she is. A blonde. Because
Yes.
we're not doing redheads anymore. Is that correct? I don't know. I can't remember.
All right.
Crazy,
I got 2 more stunning fists left. I'm going to do one, and here's the flurry of blows. Can I hit somebody, please?
There it is. The 20 is a hit.
Really? I hit him? I hit
Yep.
him.
Flurry of blows. And then you said that was the stunning fist. So I have to make a save, don't I?
Yes, sir.
All right. So he is hit. All right. What's your saving throw on the? Hold on. I gotta figure out what my fort is.
I'm
Okay.
level 5, so let me hang on. Where'd it go? Setting fist. Oh, there we go. DC. Okay, so it's I guess 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. Do we round down or up?
3.
3.
Because at level 1, you still get the 1.
Plus your
Gotcha.
wisdom modifier.
And my wisdom,
Plus whatever your wisdom modifier is.
my whiz modifier is 4 plus 4.
So 17 is the DC.
17 is the DC. Oh, it's just rude. 14 didn't make it, so he is fatigued
No.
for the moment.
Don't you do the stun for a round for yours?
Hang on.
No, at 4th level, he's well, you can stun for a round, or I think you can choose fatigued.
I'm going to choose stun, please.
Stun. All right.
So basically, he loses a turn, but then there's no save required. He's just good after that.
Back next round. Okay, so that means that you get another attack.
Good. Okay. I'm going to try my crane style strike. No, flurry of blows. And total miss.
2 miss. Well, wait, now stunned. Let me check the conditions. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I think he loses his dex.
He might lose his dex bonus. I think he does actually. So let me check the stunned condition. I think normally stunned causes you to drop something, but they're just
everything in your hand and
I'm almost there. Hold on a second. I think he
It's
stunned
like
creature
mortal-
drops,
it's like
can't take
mortal-
actions. -2 penalty to AC, which is 16 will still won't hit, and the dex bonus. Let me check his dex bonus to AC. Hold on a second. This could be a thing. Would that make him? Would that effectively make him flat-footed?
Yeah, if he loses his dex bonus.
Then
It's like Mortal Kombat. He's standing there with his head going in circles.
finish him.
Finish him.
All right, then if that is the case, he loses -2 from his AC for being stunned, and his dex bonus reduces him to flat-footed status, which is another -2, which is 16. That's a hit. 9 damage, non-lethal, as you pop him hard in the face.
Courtesy of the Twisted Iron Monastery.
All right. Welcome to Crane Style, Population U.
Right. Okay, great.
All right, that's your second attack. So now it's his turn. He shakes it off and he's like, aha! The game is afoot. He now will try Flurry of Blows himself.
Okay.
And he's going to put Stunning Fist on the second one. First hit. 14 a miss. Second hit, the one with the Stunning Fist on it. Oh, 2 misses.
It is a turn.
All right. You hear from the crowd a female voice with a lot of sass in it that says, oh no, kick his ass.
This is just a
And like, who is that sassy woman? So you turn your head away and that's when he hits you.
I do not turn my head away.
Okay.
Um, um, boxing is a really intimate thing. I mean, you're completely focused on your opponent, and no one else matters. It's kind of intimate. Just saying. Anyway, I'm gonna hit him hard.
Okay.
I'm gonna cover my eyes if he's doing all those intimate things out there.
Sorry.
I'm gonna cover my eyes if you're doing all those intimate things out there.
Right.
He's taking a move action to take his top off.
All right. Anyway, flurry of blows. This is my last stunning fist.
Okay. Neither of those hit.
Bet.
His armor class is back up because the stun is over.
Yes, it
Now
is.
it's his turn. I think he has several stunning fist left, so he's going to do the same thing he did last time. Stunning fist attack on the second roll. First one,
Fine.
18. Second one, natural 1. 17 hit you?
No, sir.
Fumble.
That is a confirmed natural attack fumble. What happens? Ooh, jam a finger. You deal damage to yourself. But it is all non-lethal. So his damage is actually quite significant, but not in this case. So he does 3 points of damage to himself as Ono ducks a shoulder as the punch comes in. The punch hits the hard bone of the shoulder, and you hear the guy go, "Oh, that really hurt."
All right, great. Okay.
All right, your turn.
All right.
I
should
suggest
probably.
I suggest the taunt. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
So at this point, Katarina yells out, double down, and she calls over the bookie and she adds another 25 to her bet to make it 50. My man Ono's gonna kick this guy's ass.
I better come through. Jeez. All right,
Anybody?
here we go.
And the bookie's like, anybody else before they get started? Who's in?
Fine, put me down for 10.
All right, Titus Andronicus in for 10. Anybody want to double up? Landrum,
I'm good. I'm comfortable. We'll get this.
Wraith, you look like a gambling sort of fellow. Katarina's like screaming in your ear, go, oh no, go, oh no.
Yeah, I look like a deaf kind of fellow at this point. So
Are you not betting? Okay.
right.
All right, here we
Okay,
go.
Okay, all right. Flurry of blows again. I have no more stun attacks. I have no really other special things to do.
All right. So it's just a flat out drag out brawl at this point. Ooh,
1918.
very close. 1918. You don't. His AC is 19, so that first one is a hit.
Really?
Yep.
I hit him.
You hit him.
Hot damn.
7 points of damage.
That's what you get. Okay.
Boom. All right. He is going to do what he did before.
Yes, sir.
Actually, he's going to do the 5-foot step and trip attack again. One more time. I got to try it. CMB. Against your CMD. Here we go. Oh, fuck. All right. Did not trip you. Your turn.
Okay.
Round
My turn?
10. Yep.
All right, here we go. Gotcha.
23 is a hit.
With 4 meager points.
All right.
Points of damage. All something. He's had it with the trips. He's going for.
Wait, why did the points come off Ono?
Oh, sorry.
Ow!
Because I cheated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not the
Wait
only-
a minute. Now I'm suspicious. I think you need to put back more.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. He is going to do flurry of blows and stunning fist,
Mhm.
his 4th. And it's going to be on the second roll again because I've had so much luck with it. So first one,
Ow.
natural Twunzo. Let's see if we can confirm that. Ooh, 15 doesn't hit. That's a hit though. Second one, but that's not the one with the stunning fist. This is the one.
Oh my
Natural
God.
20. Confirm it.
3.
Third it. All right. So 2 hits, 1 a stunning fist. He is going to go with the stun. Let's roll the damage. First strike damage,
Wow.
6 points. Second, 2 points, 8 points total.
Oh boy, I'm hurting.
And you are stunned, which means he gets a second attack, upon which he is going to do flurry of blows and his last stun.
Actually, hang on. Has he done his fortitude save to see if he gets stunned or not?
It was a stun rather than fatigued, so it would only last for a round.
Yeah, but you still get a fortitude save to see if you don't take this.
Ono gets a save.
Yes. Oh no.
Yes, he does. Okay, go ahead and take it. So the stun save is DC 16. He made it. Wow. All right, so he doesn't get the double up. Oh no, you are up. Starting to feel a little woozy, a little lightheaded, a little nauseous.
Oh no.
Damn.
9 and a 13, 2 misses. Here goes his last stunning fist in a flurry of blows. First attack. Yes. Second attack, the stunning attack. Oh, another miss. All right.
I think he has rolled against me 24 times.
Yes. 4
Damn.
20s.
4
All right,
20s.
but it's your turn.
Okay.
Now
Here we go.
it's come just a punch up. Whoa, 1 hit. Another 4 points off. Another hit against the scorpion style. Boop, that's wrong. Hold on.
Hey, that looks great.
He
Yeah.
had hold everything. What he had was 4 points. All right, so this is what he has. Okay, there we go. That's better.
That'd be 8 points. Didn't he hit twice?
No, he has AC of 19.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I just
All right.
had to check you since that last time.
Flurry of blows. Here we go. Nope. Oh yeah.
Wait, hold on. 18. Oh, wait.
23. It's you,
Ow.
right?
Mhm.
8
That's it.
points.
Okay. Still up.
That's close. You're still up, but I think the next one will do you. So you have to make this. You have to make these attacks count.
Yeah, better, huh? Okay, I'm gonna hit him with flurry of blows and wow.
Ooh. First attack.
Ooh.
Second attack. Oh no! Another confirmed fumble. Hold everything.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Ooh, frustration. You take a -4 penalty on all attack rolls next round. He is at -4 to hit you next round.
That's
Good.
significant.
That is really significant. 13, you're up.
I'm gonna beat the heck out of him. 23.
23s, that's a hit. He's down to 4 hit points.
Okay, this is tough. This is
It's
very
4.
close.
So just want to let everybody know it's 4 hit points. Alicia Devil Hand has 4 hit points. Ono has 2 left.
This is a
The
close
next
fight.
attack may do this. It may be the winner. It could go either way.
Mhm.
He has -4. So it's -4 on this. So a 4 and a natural 20.
That's the 5th 20.
Ah.
That's the 5th one.
Ha!
Wow.
Not confirmed, but he still gets to do damage.
Doesn't matter. He
I'm down.
can't roll low enough.
I'm down.
3 points. Ono goes down. So Ono, this guy manages to sort of slip one last uppercut. It hits you in the chin. You hear your teeth crunch together, and you slowly, to your eyes, drop the thing. The rest of you in the stand see him just sort of go, oh, in background, and he lands in the dust. The judge stands up and goes, the match to Alicia of the Echo Dreams, whoever those guys are that I can't remember, Echoed Souls. Alicia comes over to you, and he reaches over Ono and stands up, and he grabs his hand, and he sort of gives him a little shake of the head, and Ono, you come back to consciousness right away, and he says, Ono of the Untwisted Iron, that was an excellent fight. You fought bravely and with skill.
I bow and I say, I salute your skill. I salute your monastery. Let us be friends.
Indeed, we shall. And he reaches out and shakes your hand.
Right. All right. Fair fight, fair fight, fair fight.
And with that, Alicia turns around and sort of stumbling slightly leaves the arena. And Ono goes back to his friends. Katarina is up and she's like, "Oh my God, I love it." So she comes running out and she's like, what happened? Oh no, you lost it. She's like yelling at you, what are you doing? You lost 50 gold pieces for me. Oh man, I can't believe it. You guys are buying me drinks.
I just got beat to hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you come out there, your face is all bloody, you got a chipped tooth, that kind of stuff. But
can't open one of his eyes. Yeah.
It's like, we need a cutter in here. Yeah, Ono loses, but that guy seems to take it well, and you gave as good as you got. He was very close. 4 hit points left, and let's just remember, by round 6, Ono was down to half his hit points, and the other guy hadn't taken a single hit. Yep. Ono really came through at the end and did that.
It was a good fight.
I think so. That was a really fun fight. That's why Ono boxes. It's for these kind of fights.
So the people are cheering and that kind of stuff, and as you sort of like pass around, you guys also have to. The bookie comes right over, is like, "All right, pay up," that kind of thing, and so you guys erase that money from your things. But also, the bookie lets you know he's kind of looking at you guys. He says, when the magic students aren't dueling out here. This place, as you can see, this place is open for challenges. So if there's anything, and he kind of looks at Wraith with that bow and arrow, he's like, if there's ever a time while you're here in town that you spot somebody you may want to throw a challenge to, just let me know. We'll make it work. That's a good point. Ono just raised the odds for the next challenge, because you can't issue a secondary challenge. It's not necessarily considered good form to issue challenge after taking defeat after defeat, but a second challenge is certainly within the purview of the Order of Monks. All right. So that being the case, you guys now. Oh yeah, he'll. It's all non-lethal damage, so it doesn't take long for it to heal. You actually get a call, Poe. Somebody shows when you guys get back to the Supreme Squid. There's a messenger waiting for you. If you would accompany me when you guys entered the city. Poe, you told one of the guardsmen and listed yourself as being a medic, and they sent a guy around today to ask if you would be willing to come over to some of the tent cities, to some of the medical tents, and help out with using your medical training.
Sure.
Okay. The rest of the day passes largely without incident. You guys hang out at the Squid for a while. If there are things that like Chuck said before, if you guys want to go and do some shopping, obviously Fig will help you with that. We'll do that offline. You do get a message that evening that says that the War Council will be taking place the next day at 2:30 in the afternoon. And you are cordially invited to sit in as advisors and interested parties. And so that is happening. Is there anything else that you guys want to do before we get to that point?
I just want to check, Gordon, did you get the scroll of cure serious wounds? Is that on your character sheet?
I believe so, yeah. Let me look.
But yeah, if you can verify that, then I can delete it off my stuff.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. And I will get rid of that so that I don't address that in the email, and we're good. So.
Okay. All right. The next day, it is raining, a coldish drizzle that is, sort of not found usually in these areas. When you arrive for the War Council, obviously you are escorted through the gates of the Lyceum quite quickly, and you make your way to the tower. you see people arriving at the tower in various kinds of robes and clothing. Some have military bearing. Some are obviously mages. There is a couple of magic students who are doing prestidigitation to people once they reach the thing to get the water off their clothes as they enter the tower. And you are welcomed as well. You can see the captain. Captain Ramboose is there, and he comes over to. Is that on me? Is that my microphone that's making that noise? Do you guys hear that?
I don't know whose it
Yeah.
is.
Okay. Is it me? Can you guys hear it now?
I can't hear anything.
Okay. So Ramboose comes over to you guys and says, accompany me. I'll take you up there, and you guys make your way up the wide gray stone circular staircase that leads up to the 5th floor. There's a vast curving window on that 5th floor that looks out on the harbor, and people arrive. There's an area that has been set aside for you, but various other people are coming in. You notice that already in the room seated is General Steckert. He's already there, and he glances in your direction and nods. You can see that there is a large leather folio, which you presume holds a lot of the papers in them that you've brought here, that he wishes to talk to them. Beyond that, you can see somebody that Vondrum you might recognize from artwork that you have seen at Cabal School as somebody is the headmaster of Lyceum, a man named Simeon Gohanich. He sits in the thing, and he's attended by several students that look to be of significant rank. You also see the Magistrate Votbird, a couple of other people, including a dwarf, which you may recognize as Xavius Fobane of Lady Nimoy's Lady Timor's constituency, and a variety of other people that you don't recognize. There's a little bit of talking and various kinds of things that are going on. You're surprised to see that Katrina, the blonde from yesterday, is also sitting. She's not sitting at the council table, but on the opposite side of the room from you guys, and in sort of the adjuncts chairs. She's sitting back there. You're not sure what her role is in this regard, but it's a little surprising that she's in the room.
So Katrina, Miss Sassy?
Miss Sassy, right.
All right.
Soon, most of the chairs are full. Everybody, and the headmaster encourages everybody, sit, please. And he remains standing. You can see he is dressed not really in finery, but a common mage's vest, work pants. Honestly, you wouldn't necessarily, Vondrum recognizes him, but you wouldn't necessarily immediately make him for a mage, let alone a headmaster of a magic school, until you saw there are like runes stitched into his pants. When the noise calms down, he begins to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll pardon me if I'm brief. Our enemies are many, and we know their eyes are constantly watching. We do know their eyes are constantly watching. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. We don't have much time for this meeting, so even though I encourage each and every one of us to have our time to speak, and it seems to be he's talking to the people at the table, not necessarily to you guys, I need to ask that we not get too bogged down in discussions of minutia or other things. We have a great task ahead of us, a task that we do not do simply to protect ourselves, but to save the lives of our families, our brothers and sisters. The new commander of Sargava, Leska, who proudly calls herself the Supreme Inquisitor, has sent her armies to conquer all of our nations. Everyone is in danger, from the lowliest warrior to the mightiest mage. I have vowed as my duty that I will fight against the scourge from Sargava, but I do not know much about running a war. What I do know is that we all have knowledge and skills that will be valuable in this fight. I hope that you will trust me to lead this fight against tyranny, and I will trust you to give me your best wisdom and aid so that we may be victorious. Our goal is simple: to stop the scourge, to drive back the armies of the Sargavans, to dethrone this Leska, and to ensure that our families and our homelands are safe and remain so. Now, I hope that all of you have some idea how to do that. And I turn it over to you. My ears are open. So the first person he turns to he says, Magistrate Lord Vatbird, please tell me your thoughts. So this is the magistrate Vatbird is a dwarf, and he presides over the secular government of Seaquen. And he's here, and he brings up, he uses his time to bring up a long list of grievances, mostly against the refugees, who he says are bringing chaos and crime to the town. He is in favor, he promotes the idea of recruiting able-bodied refugees to a new, broader police force to get things under control in a hurry. In particular, he wants to systematically bring in every refugee for questioning so that they can be put into custody anyone who appears suspicious. On the matter of alliances with other nations, he's very leery about any arrangement that forces Seaquen to answer to any other power.
What was that guy's name?
His name was.
I just need to know because I'll be murdering him later.
His name is Magistrate Vatbird. He's a dwarf, and he is the head of the secular leadership and de facto head of what, if you would point to it and call it a police force, it's the head of essentially the Seaquen police force.
Well, with that name, I assume that's the SS. What with Vatberg?
Vatbird, yes. Votberd, Vatbird.
Yes, very German. Okay.
The headmaster Nazi, thank you for your input, Magistrate Vatbird. Next, the hydromancer, Sidoneth. So Sidoneth is sort of sitting back in his chair, and once he's called upon by the headmaster Simeon, he sort of takes a moment to talk. So you guys may have heard of him, but his job is largely to maintain the security of the harbor. So largely he is the go-to guy for naval affairs. Well, I'll tell you, he says. Headmaster. The North Harbor right now is so crowded that they're sending new ships to the South Harbor as they come in. There simply aren't enough adequate dock space for all the refugee ships that are heading this way, let alone the supply ships that come here to supply the refugees that we already have. I think, at least in the short term, it is probably best that we don't actually attach these ships to the new ships as they arrive to the pier, so that in case of an attack, which we suspect may be coming from the Sargavans, from a river attack, or Sargavan allies from far away, so that we may be able to move quickly and out of the way. In general, I think we should wait and build strength rather than rush to action. There might be some warmongers here who disagree with me, but frankly, I believe that they are motivated by the flow of gold into their coffers rather than the safety of the refugees or our city. And you can see he's looking at somebody across the way and when he says this, and that guy is just like daggers. You don't know who that guy is, though. All right, excellent point.
Can you spell that guy's name for me?
Sidoneth, Sidoneth. He's a hydromancer, and he is in charge of the security of the harbors, and is generally the guy they go to about naval matters.
Okay.
Next, he says, now then, let us hear from the commander of Lady Timor's men, Commander Xavius Fobane. Mr. Fobane, please. Give us the benefit of your experience. So you see there's this older dwarf still has, you can see he's still wearing, he's got a shirt on, but you can tell just by the way it moves that he's still wearing chainmail underneath it, and he still has his warhammer, a warhammer. It's wrapped up and that kind of stuff, but it's still on his hip. As you know, we have come here, my people and I, the Lady Timor's attendants and army, due to the Sargavans coming against us immediately. They attacked us even before they attacked Gate Pass, and it was the Lady Timor's county that was first to fall. I will forge an alliance, me and my men, with any nation or group that is willing to stand against Sargava. I have some ideas to take advantage of this city's substantial magical resources. For example, we could lend spellcasters to military units of all the nations that are allied. This helps those armies outwit the Sargavans and provides some protection against betrayal and their own magical capabilities, which are prodigious. I have, if you'll allow me, identified some military objectives best handled by mobile experts, where we can save perhaps commando units of experienced fighters and thereby save our larger forces for holding back enemy advances.
Pick me. Oh,
Our most important mission, to my mind, is locating the torch of the burning sky. And I believe that Leska has already begun searching the entirety of Sargava Fort. In fact, in some cases, those that we have, those Sargavan and Scourge that we have captured and interrogated have said as much. Although they may have been lying, everyone knows that Sargavans and their Chalaxian forebears are notorious liars. In any event, we do believe that she is searching for it, which is why she has spread her armies so widely. I have in mind a group that I trust to scroll upward to the rest of the text and accomplish the mission. I served with them in the Lady Timor's forces, and with the support of some of the Lyceum's mages, I think we would be able to go easily anywhere and do anything to retrieve this most valuable weapon of war. Thank you, Phobe, for your dedication, your service to the Lady Timor, whom we know very well and whom we grieve with you, and for your willingness to sacrifice and to do what is necessary to help us win this war. We will surely call upon you in our times of most necessary, most need. Now then, let us hear from the holy warrior Lorabek Adelsberg. So you see there's a woman sitting over there, and she's dressed in what is obviously the garb of a paladin. You don't recognize the specific deity. She's not bearing any specific holy symbol that she's showing right now. But you can see as she speaks, one of the things that you notice is that Votbird begins to become irritated the longer that Lorabek speaks. She says, I am less concerned with broad military matters and more worried that the thousands of people who have come to Seaquen to make a difference in this war might tear themselves apart. It's clear that Sargava is to blame here, and I would cite the fact that we have seen devils and demons in various areas of this land. In fact, there have been devils and demons that have been brought here by the Sargavans to execute their orders and to bring hellish tribulations to those they attack. Only the Sargavans and their Chalaxian forebears have such alliances with these devils and demons and would be willing to use them in a conflict such as this. And for that, they have my eternal enmity. But we should realize that just as many problems are the result here of inadequate food, lack of water, lack of shelter, bitter religious and cultural differences. There is a perception that Seaquen and Lyceum view the refugees as outsiders and pawns rather than vital allies in our cause. And the clear fact that more than a few people are here, and she's looking right at Fortbird at this point, are looking for an opportunity to profit from the war. I only can speak unofficially on behalf of the refugees, but I make the request here that someone pay more heed to local affairs, since it will take weeks anyway before any military actions can be coordinated. She starts to go into some detail, and Fortbird interrupts her. Now. I think, Laura Beck, we get what you're saying, but to do this as you recommend would be coddling potential hostile combatants. I am confident that stricter laws will get things under control. The refugees, after all, have come here to Seaquen, and they should follow Sequen's rules. The headmaster, as you know, is more than willing to listen to this, and trusts me in my experience. That is true, but I do not want to devote Lyceum students to helping the refugees when they could be training for war. I understand your concerns, Laura Beck, and we are trying desperately to ameliorate the conditions that exist in the refugee camps. But we must prepare for the eventuality that we will come into conflict with Sargavan forces, and my mages at the Lyceum must be ready. In the midst of this discussions that break out, the door to the room swings open and a human steps forward. You see at one point somebody go, you can see the General Kiernan's hand, General Steckert's hand goes like this, and the person walking in the room is thrown backwards. Suddenly you see Simeon look over at Stecker, and he goes, "That was Johund that you just attacked." General sort of straightens his thing. He's like, "I'm sorry, I was just being safe," he replies. The guy outside stands up. He's brought into the room. And he says, "Excuse me, everyone. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there are a group of 7 elves that are flying, that flew over the walls and are heading up to the tower right now. They carry the flag of the elves of the plains, but also combined with the flag of the Mwangi." And everybody's like, "Mwangi and the elves of the plains? What's going on?" Which seems to cause a small bit of uproar. The headmaster says, "Please calm down. We should meet our new guests politely, but at the same time, we should be ready in case something happens." At that, he stands and he leads everyone into the adjacent lecture hall. "Come with me," as the Elvish ambassadors arrive. All the elves are dressed in silver armor and blue cloaks, and they stand tall and bright with blonde, straight hair, swords at their hips. Their leader is a beautiful elf, a woman whose eyes are as blue as the sea that they have flown over. 2 elvish men stand close to her like bodyguards, and the one in the center holds a flag ceremoniously while the rest of the elves watch all of the people warily. The woman, as she sees all of you pouring out of the room and into this classroom, this lecture hall, says, "I would have waited. I did not intend to frighten you. If I have done so, I apologize." Simeon looks over and says, "Well, who are you?" The woman introduced herself as Shalosha, daughter of the Shining Lord Shal Adal of the Elves of the Plains. She has come to offer an alliance with Seaquen against Sargava. So she says, "Look, the elves," and I lost my thing here. Hold on. So she begins to speak, and she says, and she begins to read some of the plans. "My father has brought some plans that will allow us, he thinks, to defeat the Sargavans. I come with an offer of safety and salvation for Seaquen and those who shelter here. As you know, we are the shining jewel of the nearby civilizations, and now we have been attacked by the armies of Sargava as well. For every loss that we suffer, the progress of all nations suffers. We are the only power strong enough to drive back the fires of Sargava. But even for our greatness, victory is not assured. My father, Lord Sha'aladel, knows that some of the nations whose ambassadors stand in this very hall would prefer that the elves of the plains and their kingdoms fall. But they don't realize that in doing so, they prefer their own doom. All here must admit that faith in the leaders of other nations is a difficult thing, when the only gesture is a few diplomats sent to the banner of Seaquen. We have sent a fleet. 17 of our ships now sail towards this peninsula. And our ships have already been here, surrounding it, to protect it from hostilities. This is our previous show of devotion to the fight, and our current show of devotion. And so my father believes we prove that it is our nation who should lead this fight. We invite you to join with us in this war against Sargava. Many potential allies have found their way to your city, and so we... Sorry, it's a new column. And so we come here to meet them. However, we will not risk betrayal on any scale, nor would it be wise for you to risk it. So we ask that you hand over control of Seaquen to the Elvish fleet, so that we may begin checking the purity of your allies' spirit. Admiral Telshanth will serve as the provisional governor of Seaquen. At this, every dwarf in the room starts yelling. They're refusing to hand over the territory. Vortbird is screaming. Within moments, the other ambassadors and members here begin to clamor as well. The Elvish offer does not seem to have gone over well. Simeon tries to calm things down. It says he can recognize, but he says, I can recognize a threat when I hear one. And if the elves want to form an alliance, they can learn to share just like everyone else. I'm not going to hand my town or my people over to anyone. Shalosha does not look surprised, but as she breaks from the script she is prepared, she shows genuine concern. Obviously, what she said was from her father. She says that the admiral has his orders, that the fleet will remain, and that the elves will prevent travel by sea into and outer Seaquen. The blockade has become a real blockade. She will speak to her father and seek a compromise, but she says that such a thing cannot be accomplished quickly. The other ambassadors, especially the dwarves, demand the elves leave the building. And so in order to salvage the negotiations, the headmaster Simeon says and asks, that this must be the case, and says, Shalosha, you and your retinue must go. Everyone is sort of like standing around and talking to each other. General Steckert hasn't had an opportunity to show off the intelligence. And in fact, when the elves arrived, you saw him put it away, hand it to the captain, and the captain left the room. You look around, you can see that Captain Ramboose is not in the room, nor are the papers. Depending on what you want to do, at this point, a lot of these people are sort of wandering around. So you have an opportunity, if you want, to talk to some people or maybe find out for more information. One of the things that, while you guys are thinking about that, the general comes over and stands near you guys and says, that was unexpected. And I am equally surprised that, that these elves bear also the sigil of my homeland. As you know, as you can see, I am of Mwangi extraction, although I have lived in Seaquen for a great deal of time. In this case, I am surprised of this alliance and their demands. This is not something that I would have expected from my countrymen. I'm not sure, frankly, what to make of it. What do you think? Is there anything about the elvish behavior that makes sense? You, I can see, he looks at both Wraith and Erndar. You have elvish blood. Is there something that your elvish heritage is telling you that might explain all this? Who are you doing the sense motive check on?
The guy talking?
Oh, on General Steckert. Okay. So he seems confused, frankly, and he's. I think what confuses him even more than the fact that the elves basically want to take the city itself is the fact that they are bearing the colors on their flags of the Mwangi people, or at least some of the Mwangi people. Which would, and they didn't mention that that they were doing that. They just brought it in, brought in the the sigils on their flags. This may be them telegraphing, at least from Steckert's point of view. It may be he seems to think that maybe the elves are telegraphing that that this alliance gives them more power than they might otherwise have. The elves have always been quite powerful around here, but now they've never had any indication that they want to take over.
I'm going to do a perception checklist around the room to try to figure out who in this meeting kind of knew what was going on and expected this. See if there's anybody who seems to be smug or
A little more calm.
dealing
Well,
with the news, basically.
So the two dwarves that spoke, the Vortbird, who is the you don't even know if you're in the same room. No, I'm kidding. But well, I mean, some things are obvious. Obviously, Vortbird, who is the essentially the head of Sequen's police force and secular sort of governance, is incensed, and he's talking to anybody who will listen about how this is an affront to everything holy about Seaquen. They mean to extirpate our sovereignty. Who do these elves think they are? Now, as we all know, dwarves and elves don't get along anyway. But this was obviously a shot at his power and a shot at his authority. The other elf that you talked to, the guy who was a member of Lady Timor's group and the head of their is everybody okay? And the head of their of that army, the one that's saying, hey, look, let's put together a commando force and start taking the fight to the Sargavans. So basically you see those two dwarves talking, and Vortbird is basically bending this guy's ear. He's like, all right, I guess I sort of agree with you. I certainly don't want the elves in charge, but you get the impression that he's not too that they're not friends by any stretch of the imagination. And it looks like Vortbird is trying to capitalize on the fact that they're both dwarves, and he assumes that the other guy is sort of automatically against elves and will be his ally. And so he's sort of like talking him up. The other guy kind of looks a little bit like the guy that, well, he doesn't look surprised or anything. He more than anything looks thoughtful, is Sidoneth, the naval guy, the hydromancer. So the more you think about it, these elves approach from across the water. They already have ships in the market, and they say there's more ships coming. I mean, you don't know much about the defenses of this particular peninsula, but you would expect the guy who's in charge of naval affairs to have at least some sense of what the waters around the region are doing. So maybe he knew about this, maybe he didn't. But it seems like he might be in charge, not in charge of it, but it seems like he might be. Well, he seems like he would be the one who ought to have known this, right?
What's he in charge of? Is he in charge of all the elven boats, or is he just in charge of the standard boats that are normally here?
Well, normally the standard boats, and he, and when he spoke, he was like, "Look, we have to start using the southern. We have to start using the southern harbor more. In fact, we should not be tying up boats to the piers. But instead, once they've delivered whatever supplies they have, they need to unhook. We can't have boats languish here, because if we are attacked by sea, those boats will be stuck at the piers and they'll be destroyed. So they need to be able to make a quick exit or sortie to attack, to try and fix those kind of things."
Do you have something less that is kind of a who's who?
I do. I don't have it yet, but I will have it. I will make it for you.
Because I'm having a hard time keeping track of the different.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And there were several people who did not get a chance to speak, who were at that council table.
Why did they not get a chance to speak?
Because the elves showed up and sort of disrupted the ceremonies.
Now where are the elves from? And I'm looking at the map that you're showing.
Mm-hmm.
Small map in the top right. Are the elves off that screen, or are they from somewhere on that little map?
Here, let me go to a different map. Oh. Okay, so hold on, let's go to the regional map. All right, remember this? So you guys are here at Seaquen. The elves are in this, so largely control here. Let me draw it. It'll be easier too. Hold on a second.
Oh, I had this messed up. Thank you for showing this.
So the elves largely control, hold on, this area.
Are you doing something?
Can you see that area?
Yeah.
So and these are the plains elves. Now, if you go north into this area, there are other elves that are allied with them, and I hate that it defaults back to my my shitty green color here. Hold on a second. So there are other elves over here that they're allied with, but if you go down, and I can get back the larger map, but if you go past Gate Pass and down this river in this direction, then you start to get into Mwangi proper. So to the east is the Mwangi jungles, where so you're betting that they have cut some deal with them. Now they have supply lines here. You ran into the elves before when you were right in like this area or this area. Remember when you left that farmstead and you ran into the elves, and they were fine. I mean, they were horsemen, but they largely control that area. Now, historically, those elves, they've held no love lost for the Sargavans, they have generally been friendly to everyone else. Their job historically has been to fight the hobbits in the fire forest and to keep those crazy hobbits from raiding into the plains, the farmsteads of the plains. But typically they've been very friendly. This is kind of, now you guys have never heard of these particular elves that she's talking about, the lady's father, that kind of thing, who seems to be promoting this. And there are certainly more than one tribe of elves that run that. I mean, you're looking at probably that trapezoid there is probably 800 to 1,000 square miles of distance. So I mean, there's a lot of different elven tribes in there. These guys didn't seem to know her, so it could be that they haven't brought. But she's also saying, look, the blockade is ours now.
So does the elves that showed up, are they insinuating that they're representing all the elves inside that trapezoid?
That's kind of the insinuation, like the elves of the plains, we are here to represent that. The likelihood is, knowing what you know of elves, the likelihood is that that's probably not the case. What's the old phrase? You ask 10 elves for an opinion and you get 12 opinions. But they're here in force. And if they've got a navy, if basically what she said was they've got more ships coming, they're turning the supply boats and the security boats into an actual blockade, and they are going to blockade Seaquen. And their plan is, look, hand the town over to us so that we can take charge of the resources here and start fomenting and be basically, they're saying we should be in charge of the resources that Seaquen enjoys so that we can coordinate the attacks against the Sargavans as they come.
Why can't that be done in partnership? Why must they have total control? It doesn't make any sense.
The lady, basically the female elf who spoke, basically repeated you get the impression that she's basically repeating
she
what
just-
her father told her to say. But
Mhm.
when asked about it, I mean, those questions came up. She's like, look, this is the plan. And she didn't necessarily seem 100% bought in, but that was her thing.
Now she's gone from here because everyone told her to buzz off, right?
She buzzed off. They took off. Yeah.
I want
But the room is still alive with conversation. People are like, the affront, that kind of thing. Maybe we should hear him out. You know how government is.
Yeah. So she's not here anymore. Can't talk to her, right?
Mm-mm. Well, she left the building. You don't know where, if she's gone away or that kind of stuff. At one point, headmaster comes over to you and says, when all this is over, I'd like to spend a few minutes with you, if you don't mind. Please hang around if you would. Don't depart the tower just yet.
Says that to all of us?
To you guys, yeah. He's quite surreptitious about it. It's obvious that he doesn't want other people to know that he's meeting with you guys at some point in the very near future.
So I stopped Facebooking that then.
Yes, don't tweet that.
So you said that the elves showed up with a Mwangi flag?
Well, it's an Elvish flag, and it's obviously an Elvish flag. But what Steckert saw was that it wasn't the traditional Elvish flag; it had Mwangi sigils on it. So it was like a regular Elvish flag, but it had, Mwangi writing and symbols on it as well, like
Right, so-
a combined flag. It wasn't two flags; it was one flag with multiple symbols.
Right. So would knowledge local and the fact that I've sort of dealt with the Mwangi before, would that maybe give me some insight into
It's possible, yeah.
the Mwangi are tribal?
Mm-hmm.
So
But they also do have cities.
yeah, but they could have the alliance of one small tribe and not necessarily, just like the elves that came here,
Right.
didn't necessarily have the support of the greater elven community.
Right.
It's one chick and her dad. So I'm just thinking knowledge local to see if the Mwangi part of that was again sort of a small cop together thing and not, well, shit. I don't know nothing.
You did well. So you do know with a 10. You didn't recognize the specific symbols on the flag, but you do know that the elves of the Dark Reach Plains, which is what these plains are called, the Dark Reach Plains. The closest, the big so there's two.
Yeah, it's a 10. You can't tell me much. I get it.
I can't tell you much. So the Mwangi cities, the cities of Asibu, Mazali, and Kalabuk, are relatively far away from the Dark Reach Plains, right? So
No.
Kalabuk is down along the river to the to the south. Asibu is probably 400, 500 miles east of where you guys are right now. And Mazali is to the southeast, across the Screaming Jungle. You don't know which Mwangi they're talking about.
So what would be the closest Mwangi?
There was a noblewoman we ran into less on the way here in the woods. Is any of this sparking anything about?
She is Mazali from the south. But your guess is that she's probably from the region of Kalabuk, which was attacked by the Sargavans, and she probably made her way north.
So a different faction.
Well, they're all sort of Mwangi tribesmen, but they're all Mwangi in heritage. But they come from different cities, they come from different places. There are small tribes, there are large places. It's like saying, it's sort of like saying when you refer to a Mwangi as being tribal and that kind of stuff. It's like sort of saying, well, Americans are tribal. They come from different places, though, and there's big groups and there's small groups, and they don't always all agree with each other. And certainly they fight a lot internally,
Well,
but
that's very true.
Yeah. So the Mwangi, the people of the Mwangi, in many ways, the analogy is apt. There are smaller groups, there are bigger groups. There is as big a continuum of political, tribal, cultural precepts as you can imagine.
They
Yeah,
have
I
the
ju-
label Mwangi like we have the label American, which
Yeah,
ties us all together.
Yeah, but like I said, I wasn't able to determine which group. And we have no idea whether this group of elves, it seems like they're relatively small. They're just, my general take on it, even as a half elf, is elves are fucking arrogant. And their arrogance often outstrips their ability.
Okay.
At the same time, this little motherfucker, I'm sorry, what's his name again?
The woman who spoke?
No, Vatbird. Yeah, I'll be executing him later. Because
Okay.
I listened to him speak. I wrote down his name, and next to it I put fascist. So
well, yeah. So he's basically talking about nationalizing. Well, basically what he's doing is, let's be honest.
basically, he's a fascist.
Well, he's kind of a fascist. But he's saying, look, these guys are causing all kinds of crimes. These guys they come here, they're poor. What we need to do is separate the wheat from the chaff. And the wheat that we can use, we could probably find some trusted people. And he was probably hoping that his friend, the dwarven warrior from Lady Timor's guys, would bring over some of those. Because remember, the guys in the red zone are, they're relatively well resourced. They're relatively well disciplined. There's a lot of martial types in there, and your guess based on this is that Vortbird was going to probably presume on those refugees, our refugees, to help him sort of like clean up the rest of the refugees and to make sure that there was no problems there.
Yeah, nothing you said has made any difference.
Okay, that's
just so you know, his idea is these people cause crime because they're starving and they steal food. So he hates poor people. I get that. Everybody hates poor people. I'm still going to kill him, just so everybody knows that guy's going to die.
Okay.
Just so we understand, if I cause the group a whole bunch of problems, sorry, not sorry.
Hold on, I've got to tweet the poor people quote.
Bound's grinning, nodding his head up and down.
Yeah,
I'm still making my way up north or south and kill the guy who sold us off to the hags. So
yeah, everybody hates poor people, even other poor people, but they're not thieves. They're not causing crime. They're trying to survive. And that guy is going to have to die. Sorry.
Well, there's to a certain extent, the Elvish woman is, I mean, you could look at, there's an analogy there, right? I mean, they're sort of proposing the same things under different control, right? Because what does the Elvish woman say? We're going to blockade this city. You're going to hand over control of it. And we're going to make use of the resources here, including the refugees, whatever skills they may have.
No, I wasn't even discussing the Elven woman.
Okay.
I've already dismissed her. As, like I said, elves, their arrogance outstrips their ability.
Gets it. All right, I got it. But there's a certain analogous situation there.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So are you suggesting I should add her to the kill list? I'm okay with that.
She didn't offend me nearly as much.
Sorry, I'm tweeting elves, their arrogance always outstrips their ability. That's a great quote. All right. So I'd
like to talk to that chick.
The Elvish chick?
Yeah, I wanted to get her to say that we're blockading, not allowing any more food in until you guys give us control.
Well, she didn't come right out and say that, because the conversation sort of went to shit very quickly. She didn't say that she was blockading. Let me find the place. The elves are sending a fleet. 17 of our ships are now sailing for this peninsula to help surround it from all directions and protect it from hostilities. This will show our devotion to this fight, and so my father believes we will prove that it is our nation who should lead this fight.
Yeah, I don't like her. Who was the chick that was before her that spoke?
The paladin woman,
No,
Laura Beck.
Laura Beck.
So she basically said, look, these people are suffering. We need to help them before, if we don't help the people who are suffering right now, we're never going to be able to field an army. And these people have problems that are happening today. And she's like, look, it's going to be weeks before we get an army ready that's going to be able to take the Sargovans in the field. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but we have problems that are confronting us today. The problems that these refugees are facing on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, I like her.
But I think we can utilize some as resources too, if we can get them cleaned up a bit and help them. And
Well, a lot of them are probably as motivated as we are. Just got kicked out of their home and probably
Yeah.
some people.
No,
got, so
And I would never suggest that there's not sort of valuable warriors and all of that in the refugees. It's just if Vatberg, his suggestion, he needs to die. So
As you guys are sort of talking, and right after Headmaster Simeon sort of says, don't leave before we have a chance to talk. We'll meet in my office in a little bit. There's people like, Simeon, can you believe he's saying this? That kind of stuff. There's a halfling kind of comes over to you. He's dressed very sort of flamboyantly. He's got a big red vest, and his shirt has sort of the frills at the top. And he comes to you. He says, you must be the men and women from Gate. I guess just men. The men from Gate Pass. I've heard, that you've arrived, and I welcome you. My name is Giorgio, and I am the owner and proprietor of the Wayfarer Theater. You've probably seen it in the Northern Harbor. That grand ship that we've changed into a theater that's parked out in the middle there. As much as all of this is going on, I just wanted to say, come over here and welcome you to the city of Seaquen, and invite you to a performance that we are giving in the next couple of days of the spectacular trial of Toleth Topek. It's a new play. You've probably heard it's going to be premiering in a couple of days. And I wanted, as you're new here and obviously influential among certain circles, of course, I wanted to come to provide you with tickets. And he pulls out a little envelope, a little parchment envelope, and inside are some paper tickets that say admit one to the performance of Spectacular Trial of Toteth. He says, you've now heard about it. It's premiering in a few days. There will be other performances before the night of these tickets, but I wanted to let you know that I'm here on behalf of the guild mistress, the theater guild mistress, Larkins. Her ageless beauty has asked me. She wants to be certain that before you have the opportunity to see it, that everything is perfect. Because now it's obvious that as you've come here, you've rapidly made your way into the upper echelon of the citizenry and respect. And obviously you're here as representatives in large part for those of Gate Pass. And we want to make sure that, Seaquen and Guild Mistress Larkins remembers Gate Pass. She spent many a fortnight there, entertaining the locals with plays that she's written and performances that she's done. And she remembers it fondly. And she's very saddened by what happened and is glad to hear that some Gate Pass people are here. So here's your tickets. Please understand it. It will... Please tell me that you will be attending. I am under orders to report back to the guild mistress and tell her with none uncertain terms that you will absolutely be in the theater on this night. She is incredibly excited to meet you and to have you see this performance. Will you be there? Please tell me yes.
What's in it for me?
Well, obviously, you will be guests of honor at this show. You will be given the excellent seats in the thing, and the performance will be at its height. And obviously, refreshments will be served. Please tell me. Do not deny the guild mistress. Tell me that you will be here. I must insist. You give me your answer.
There is a chance that we might be there.
Oh, please, I can't go, Master Arundel, I cannot go back to Guild Mistress Larktis with the chance. She will send me back here with stripes on my back to beg you to come to this thing. And if you indeed continue to be equivocal about your attendance. She will hound me to chase you down at the Supreme Squid and not leave until you have given me your assurance that you will indeed be there to meet her, see the show, and join her afterwards for drinks where we can talk all things theater and discuss current events in Gate Pass and just have her learn a little bit more about you. Please tell me you will be there. Tell me so. Do not force me to go back to her. He's a bit histrionic.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
What say you? What say you, Gate Pass militsiya? Please do not leave me hanging.
I can't wait.
Ah, Master Ono, I heard of your prowess in the dueling arena today. Excellent work, excellent work. It was only that you may not be aware of it, but Alessia Devilhands has challenged many different monks in that arena and has stomped the living shit out of most of them. You gave him quite a contest, and for that, he is usually quite dismissive of his opponents. But in your case, I have it on very good authority that he has been talking up very positively about the Order of the Untwisted Iron, solely on your performance in the arena. Well done, my good man.
It was those 520s.
It was the 520s. Well, Alicia Devilhands is known for throwing 20s with abandon.
Yes, indeed.
You should not forget, however, that as thou throwest 20, thou also shalt throwest ones. And if I recall correctly, Alicia Devilhands threw at least 2 ones, one of which resulted in him jamming a finger.
Well, it was a good fight, and I have respect for him and his monastery.
If I were you, however, I would be very careful of the young Katrina over there. She reportedly lost 100 gold pieces on the match, and frankly, 100 gold pieces in this town goes a long way. If Katrina lost that much, she's going to look for an opportunity to make it back. She may put you up for another fight.
Well, if that happens, I hate to disappoint my investors. And I also wish my investors would not bet 100 gold on me.
Yeah, I love to disappoint her, actually. It's kind of one of my purposes in life.
But that said, I feel bad about it. I will practice. I am humble. I will practice. I will do my best next time. So you have a show?
Ah, yes. May I assume, and Lord Conundrum, I assume that you speak for the group when I say, may I assume that I can go back to the guild mistress and tell her that you will be ecstatic at enjoying the show 3 days hence, regardless of the current unpleasantness that is going on in this town. You will come to the theater. You will enjoy her hospitality and enjoy the new show that is coming to our theater. I must insist. You will.
Oh, I know. I enjoy it until I've seen it.
Ah, the guild mistress only puts on shows of the highest quality. She insists on having the best actors and actresses, props and special effects. She uses no CGI. It's all done with human work.
No CGI. What? All right. I'll go.
Commander Odo,
Will
I
it
knew
be
you would be
free
there.
mead, beer, and food?
She has told me to extend to you the entirety of her hospitality. She looks forward to seeing you before refreshments immediately prior to the show, and then afterwards for a lengthier meeting in private, where she hopes to learn a little bit about yourselves, about what has transpired in Gate Pass, and better make your acquaintances.
Well, if there's free food and drink.
My mistress's hospitality knows no bounds, my good man.
Good. So do our appetites.
That is also what I've heard.
And he's not talking about food.
In twin speak, I'm gonna talk to Arrendar. You're going, right?
If we have to, yes.
I didn't say we. I didn't say we. I said you're going, right?
No, I mean, I said, if we have to, then yes.
You have to. Tell her you'll go.
All right.
Excellent. I knew that you would succumb to the charms of the theater. Obviously, you're cultured men to a man, and I knew that you would succumb to it. I will rush back to her right away and tell her the good news. Take these tickets. He pushes them into Titus's hand, and he says, "Take these tickets. I will see you 3 days hence at the performance. Please come. The time is at 7 p.m., but please come about 2 hours earlier so that you may make the acquaintance of my mistress, and we may have some refreshments, discuss the theater, discuss Gate Pass, discuss the current political situation, and all things under the sun. I will see you then." He doffs his hat, does a great bow, and storms out.
Now he's gone. Am I doing this?
Yes, you're doing this. If he had paused to take a breath, I would have happily told him he will see my face there, but I will not be in attendance.
Where are you going to be?
Sneaky.
You don't like the theater?
I have other things to do. I want to figure out a way to go and speak to Xavius.
Okay, Xavius Phobane,
Yeah.
the other dwarf. Okay, that could be well. You've got several days.
Well, right. I mean, it's not like I'm going to go run his ass down in the alley and put a knife to his throat. I just mean I want to go speak to him.
No, that's my job.
And at some point, I want to go speak to Laura Beck, whatever.
I'd shy against putting a knife to her throat.
Yeah, no, I ain't going to try that shit.
All right. About that time, things seem to be winding down, and the meeting seems to be devolving on our own accord. Headmaster is conferring with, Steckert, and basically he says, "Everyone, I know you're anxious to leave after it was a thing. We did not accomplish what we'd hoped. However, so I will be calling another meeting very soon, probably within the next 48 to 72 hours. In the meantime, consider what we should do in response to the Elvish proposal and the other proposals that I've laid here. We will discuss them in more depth when we return again. Everyone, thank you for coming, and your horses and wagons will be validated down from." At that point, he comes and says, "All right, you lot, come with me. Let's talk real quickly, will you?" He takes you into a side room. It's not his office by any means. It's actually quite a small room. And he basically says, "Look, I've had several conversations with General Steckert and several other people, and I just want you to know that frankly, and one other people, I don't know if you know this, but I'm very close with the Lady Katrina. She has been an advisor to me on several occasions, and I spoke with her about you. She seems to, despite her normally incorrigible manner, she seems to have quite a high opinion of you as a group. She also
in here.
The bucket of sass, yes.
Okay.
She seems to have a great, quite high opinion of you. What I can also say is that she has a very good grasp of the dangers that we're facing in this war. And frankly, between those two things, I personally have the opinion that you as a group can be quite effective and useful allies to us. And I hope that you see the same. Obviously, I can't presume upon you to do anything that you wouldn't wish to do, but if you are willing and willing to lend your aid to some missions on our behalf in the future, I can only speak for myself, but I am certain that both I and the general would be in your debt. One thing I can do in the meantime, if you were to see your way clear to this, is something that has come to us, and the general has spoken to me about it in the past. The situation in Gate Pass is obviously quite dire, and there's we've heard some instance of purges. Obviously, Cabal has been killed. Gate Pass, the city, is in a bad way. I know that several of you have family there. As a show of good faith, I have detailed 2 of my best scouts as messengers to go to Gate Pass, infiltrate the city, and find out what they can. This I was already planning to do, but now that you're here, is there any information that you would like for them to seek out while they're there? I can't tell you how long it will take for them to get there. It's quite a distance, as you know. But my hope is that they can get there. They can move quite. These scouts are proven, and they can move quite swiftly when the need arises. My hope is that they can get there, investigate, and be back within 7 to 10 days. Is there anything in Gate Pass or any person in Gate Pass that you would either like them to check on, find out information, or indeed kidnap and bring here if still alive?
Oh.
Yes.
boy.
Yes.
We have one of those type people.
Yes.
How can we help you?
So obviously, if you can find your way, depending on what your scouts are, if they can even find their way into the Elven ghetto,
Yes.
is not normally something humans are able to do very easily because they can't see the entrances.
I can assure you that entry into the Elvish ghetto will not be a problem for these scouts.
Then if they can find and
Remember that this guy is the headmaster of the magic school.
okay, well, that's all good. Yes, find my mother
Mhm.
and bring her here.
What is her name?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'd have to go look up a bunch of old stuff.
Mother Arrendar. Got it.
Yeah, that works.
Just ask for her like that.
Yeah.
That way
And
she
to
smacks, that's why she smacks one of your scouts.
Yeah. With a frying pan, just bang.
Any I will see if it can be done, it shall. You have my word. Anyone else? Is there anyone else who has any information from Gate Pass or any people from Gate Pass that they want to see collected?
It's Alicia, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. You looked it up faster than I would have been able to. How the hell did you do that?
I got your backstory copy. I just looked at.
Ah, cool.
He's poring over it in the night looking for weaknesses.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there are lots of those.
Actually, you did find the weakness. It's mom.
One of which is I'm going to kill this fascist bastard.
Is there anyone else in Gate Pass or any other information that you would read? Obviously, the information that my spies gather will be shared with you.
I don't know. Does anyone else have a backstory that has family still in Gate Pass?
Oh, it doesn't.
Not me.
Okay, so it's just us.
All right. If it can be done, I will see to it. With that, basically, he's basically saying, look. Oh, also the last thing he says before we depart for this evening, because I see that it is 11:01. He says that he wants to personally thank you for delivering the case. He also says that there is a lot of interesting information there, including what he feels is a possible remedy to the teleportation situation. He will be arming his scouts with teleportation technology. They'll have to go there on foot, but he thinks that he can get them back quickly. They're setting up a teleportation station now, a different one, a surreptitious one within the school, so that they can use it. And they may be able to set, one of the orders that he's giving his scouts is to set up in as safe a place as possible a suitable teleportation station in Gate Pass. The idea is that if they can remove the teleportation problems, they can get to and from Gate Pass easily. They can flow men, material, weapons, that kind of thing, from the safe zone in Seaquen to the sort of behind the lines in Gate Pass.
Yeah.
So that's their plan. So he's like, look, much in your debt here on this. You have delivered this. He's like, Torrent was a friend of mine. Torrent was a member of this school and the occasional faculty. She taught a wide variety of martial tactics and combat. Combat technology, but from a distance, yeah. So he tells you he's worried He's worried specifically about mages like Vondram. With the news of Gabal's death, there are dozens, potentially over 100 mages still in Gate Pass that have no defense. He doesn't know how many else who were killed in the defense of Gabal, and he's certainly appreciative of Gabal's ability to put the Sargarvans to the torch. But he'll tell you flat out, he says, like, I was a friend of Gabal's. He was an incorrigible old man, but he was a powerful mage, and he, I go, went walk a long way. And if possible, I'm going to try and get revenge for him, for his death. And maybe you lot can help me with that. And that's it. He's basically saying, look, I may approach you separately. I don't know what Steckert has planned for you. Probably not much. But in the meantime, hang around. And if you get additional information during your time here that seems valuable, let me know.
Okay.
All right.
And with that, we will stop for this evening.
So then
Thank
Chuck's
you.
going to get less, the stuff we've got, Les is going to get money back to Chuck, and then Chuck's going to send us an email saying this is how much. everyone's-
Right. How much per person? Now, I don't know how much.
Keep a share for the party.
Yeah, I do.
Thing on it. Okay.
I generally keep 10%.
I would just keep a share. It'd be 1/6 or 1/7
Okay, that'll work as
for the
well.
party, and we use that for like anything that we need for the whole party.
Right. So
Right.
I have a party savings set up,
Okay.
and I'll just do an additional share, but everybody, and once I get the money back, I'll send everybody out what kind of money they have. Now, if you've spent if any of you have spent any money up until now individually, you'll have to sort of keep that deduction, because I don't know about it necessarily, so I'll send you the total. And then if you've spent 50 gold on beer, wine, women, whatever, just take that back off.
All right. So send me the list of stuff. I'll get you the money back. I'll also, to Mike, your question, I'll also do a who's who of all those people in that room, so that you have an idea of what's going on in there. So and then we will start this in the second week of November.
Good.
Nice.
Thanks, Les.
All right. Thank you guys. This was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night.
Hey,
Good night.
bye.
Bye.